For just the fourth time in this storied rivalry, Vigor versus Blount will not be played in Pritchard. Now, just because the location has changed doesn't mean the intensity has gone away. Vigor is riding a 4-game winning streak against Blount and looking to make it 5 in a row. Now, for Blount, you've got to be all in for the win. It's all about pride and trying to recapture those bragging rights. So who's going to come out victorious? Well, you better tighten up your chin strap, because we're about to find out now in the Battle of Pritchard as we kick off another season of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey Bounty. We're glad you're with us. Corey, it is time for the biggest game of the year.
Without question, Al, these two alumni fan bases, they have Hall of Famers in the NFL along with the Alabama High School Athletic Association in the state of Alabama. It doesn't get any better than these two teams and the type of anticipation that we're going to, leading up to kickoff, looking forward to it.
As we said, just because the location has changed, the intensity is still at a fever pitch for both of these schools. They are the #1 and #3 winningest public schools in the past 10 years in Mobile County. So Vigor and Blount definitely know football, Corey Bounty.
I mean, you just look at the two, I guess you can call it the pedigrees of these programs, second to none in the entire state of Alabama. You mentioned both Matty T. Blount and Vigor across the state, regardless of classification, regardless of when this rivalry is played, because it used to be played at the end of the season versus in the opening. But now both fan bases look forward to having bragging rights at the beginning of the season instead of the end.
You can ride it 365 days for the folks in Pritchard. And you know what? It is unity in the community. So we'll talk more about that later on. Corey, right now, we got to find out what's happening for the game. Let's get into your checklist for tonight's contest.
Absolutely, Al. Vigor, defensive dominance is where we're going to look at tonight. They're going to try to shut out the Leopards of Matty T. Blount. It'll be interesting to see how this team plays together. Be balanced offensively. Vigor has a new quarterback running the system, and it'll be interesting to see how he plays. And the nerves are settled down quickly for Mr. Sammy Dunn. Conditioning chemistry. John McKenzie coming back and taking over for this program. He always has to stress conditioning within his program. As soon as he took the job about a month ago, that's one of the things he wanted to make sure that his team was focused on, is the conditioning aspects. And for the Blount Leopards, penalties and poise is what Coach Nelson is going to be focused on. We don't want to see that old dirty rag come out early and often for the Matty T. Blount Leopards. Protecting the pigskin. We'll see if they're able to limit the amount of turnovers they have tonight. And winning the special teams battle, that third phase of the game, is always so very important.
It is. That's something Coach Nelson told us when we were on the phone. He said, Corey, when you get big games like this and the emotions that go into it, a lot of times what separates the winner and the loser is how you execute on special teams. So we will be checking back in on your checklist. Speaking of a special team, our third team member, Kimberly Dunn, is down on the sidelines. We got to welcome her to this new season of high school football as we check in with Kimberly Dunn for our BSN weather forecast. And you know what, Corey? I think Kimberly might got caught by the old microphone bug. I'm an old sideline reporter. That can happen sometimes. So, Fran, hook her up with some batteries. That's all I'm going to say. We'll talk about Fran later on. But since we're here, Corey, let's get into the impact players. Who's going to make an impact for both of these teams tonight for Vigor and Blount? Because we've got some stars on the field tonight.
Absolutely. Big-time players all over the field for both of these teams. But for the Vigor Wolves, running back #1, Carlos Green Pants Benjamin. He's a senior that has rushed for over 1,300 yards. He'll be a huge factor in this Vigor offense and getting the running game established. And defensive end, Javaris Chicken Guerra is what they call her. He's only a sophomore, folks. He is verbally committed to the University of Alabama, continuing that defensive dominant tradition that the Wolfpack does have. And for the Blount Leopards, Matty T. Blount's defensive end, Chase Howard. He's a senior. Also, Lazarick Johnson. We're looking at Chase Howard first. Chase Howard just recently committed to Louisiana Lafayette to play his next college ball, but he has unfinished business as a leader for these Leopards. And then we'll look at number 9 athlete, Lazarick Johnson. He'll be all over the field tonight for Matty T. Blount. We'll see him offensively. We'll see him defensively. Coach Nelson is going to rely on Lazarick tremendously.
His nickname is 9-Volt, Corey. He's like an Energizer bunny. He does not stop, so we're looking forward to seeing Lazarick on the field. I believe we're able to check back in with Kimberly Dunn now to get that BSN weather forecast. Kimberly, are you with us? What's going on?
Hey guys, we are here for the Battle of Pritchard, and like you said, tonight is all about the bragging rights. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the weather too. Tonight we are actually in the 80s, which isn't too bad. The sun seems to be hidden behind some clouds right now, so it actually feels really good down here on the field. Now our humidity is the thing we have to watch. Of course, living here in the South, humidity is staying around the 70s, 70%. So that is going to be the big effect on the guys tonight if they are able to stay conditioned through this humidity and stay hydrated throughout the game.
We're going to take it down to the field right now for the coin toss.
Okay, you guys have been designated as captains. Make sure you accept that role. Okay? Keep your teammates under control. Talk to your teammates only. If you make a good play on one of them, pat them on the back and keep moving. Okay? We understand. You're the visiting team. That's heads. That's tails. Captain, that's heads. That's tails. What's your preference? Tails. You want tails. What did he say? All right, toss it up, hit the ground. It's tails, you win the toss. You want, your coach said they wanted to defer. You want to defer? Okay, all right. He said they wanted to defer to the second half, okay? White, defer. That's why I checked with him. You want the football, okay? Which goal you want, coach? Which way you want to kick, which way? You want to kick that way? White, step over here. Blue, step over there. All right. Gentlemen, right here, going to receive. One more word of encouragement. Come here a little bit closer, guys. Look, play hard. Leave it on the field. Okay, remove any doubt about it. I want each and every one of you guys to be productive young citizens. Okay? Yes, sir. Be mindful of your attitude, respectful, and you can't attain any of those things if you don't stay in school. You understand? Yes, shake hands, have a good ball game.
And there's the coin toss right there, won by Vigor. They've declined, and our white hat Ron Coleman did a great job for us, Corley Bounty. We're about 90 seconds away. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with the kickoff, the Battle of Pritchard. Vigor versus Blount headed your way as we kick off another season of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
Sounds of the Matty T. Blount Marching Leopard Band as the Blount Leopards run onto the field after the coin toss. We're just moments away, as you say it, Corey, from toe meeting leather to kick off our season of high school football. We know it started Thursday night in the state of Alabama, but this is our first game.
Without question, Al, this is the game that we definitely circle on the calendar, knowing that every single year, now that the schedule, like I mentioned earlier, has been reversed to where these two historic rivals meet at the beginning of the season to start high school football off. And it's on a cool Saturday evening here in Mobile, Alabama at Lab People's Stadium. You couldn't ask for a better evening and environment for high school football across the country.
And for Vigor, 3 is the lucky number in the history of the Battle of Pritchard. Check this out, Corey. The game has been played 3 times on a Thursday. Vigor won all 3 games. 3 times on Halloween. Vigor won all 3 games. And today's game will be the 3rd time it'll be played on a Saturday. Guess what, Corley Bounty? Vigor won those previous 2 Saturday games.
We'll see here if it holds to fashion to where Vigor continues to have great success on Saturday evening. But you look around and you see the bands and the cheerleaders and all the alumni tailgating that's going on. It really does set the stage for a tremendous rivalry and a great high school football game.
Malik Fremont set to kick off for Vigor. Back to receive TJ Miller and Jerome Williams. Fremont boots it. Blount muffs it, but they do come up with it. But they're going to be driven back inside of the 15. Let's take a look at that Blount offense. Leading Blount onto the field is senior quarterback Chris Wiggins. Wiggins is a baseball transfer from Faith Academy and has an arm. He'll be throwing to wideout senior Terrence Miller and junior Naheem the Dream Thomas. When the Leopards run it, look for senior tailback Jerome Williams to get the carries. The Leopards averaged 12.9 points per game last season. They're looking to get this offense in gear, and their offensive line averages 265 pounds across the front, Corey.
And now as we start this game, it will be under new offensive coordinator Kendrick Nord. And Kendrick Nord, he played his high school football right here at Lab Peoples Stadium, having prepped at Williamson High School and gone on to Grambling and coached on collegiately as well. So we'll see here if his offense can get started off quickly.
First play from scrimmage for the Leopards. They hand it off to Williams. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up second down for Blount.
Greg Crosby comes up from his weak side linebacker position. Had 86 tackles a season ago. The 5'11", 190-pound senior only gives up 1 yard. 2nd and 9 now.
Wiggins looking over to the sideline, getting those calls, as you talked about, from Kendrick Nord, offensive coordinator. Trip receivers to the bottom, single man up top. Pressure on Wiggins. Vigor's going to wrap him up for the sack and the loss back to the 11-yard line. Big play right there by the Wolves, the pressure from their defense.
Devin Whitsitt, the defensive end, 6'2", 215-pound junior. He leads the charge, and what Chris Wiggins is going to understand quickly, you just have to throw that ball away. You don't want to take the sack in that situation. Go ahead and throw that away, and I know he'll learn as the game continues to come to him, but great pressure by the defensive end, Whitsitt.
3rd and long coming up here for the Leopards. They need to get to the 29-yard line to pick up a first down. Let's see what Kendrick Nord is going to dial up here for Matty T. Blount. And I believe a timeout has been called, Corey. Let's look at our white hat, Ron Coleman.
And that's a great timeout called by the Leopards in that situation. You want to make sure you don't turn it over. And have a great play call coming from the sideline to make sure that you're squared away there, Al. That's just one of those precautionary timeouts to where it can go from bad to worse.
So actually, Corey, it wasn't a timeout. It was an inadvertent flag on the play. And now Ron Coleman calls the time. What I think happened possibly could have been a delay of game. So we're going to take it down to the sidelines. Check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has a guest with her.
All right, I'm here with Vigor's principal, Principal Buchanan. How are you doing this evening?
Great. I am great. Excited to be here tonight.
Absolutely. There's so much excitement in the air tonight. What does it mean having this is the first football game of the season?
It kind of sets the tone for everything. It creates the excitement needed about the return to school, and we're just excited to be here tonight.
Now, speaking of excitement, tell us some of the exciting things going on at Vigor High School.
A lot of great things happening at Vigor, and we're really glad to be back in school. Enrollment is up about 15%. We're excited about that. Attendance is up. Tardies are down. We just recently received information that our school has been named our counseling program has been named a program of distinction. So we are super excited about that. We want to send out kudos to our counselors, LaKasha Scott, and our former counselor, Ms. Ebony McDowell. We also have a new counselor, Brittany Poinge, who was a program of distinction counselor as well. So we're excited about our counseling program. And, you know, we just got so many great things. We got 4 student athletes, football players that have been already, they've already committed to school, Alabama State, the University of Alabama, Mercer, and the Raging Cajuns. So that's good news because that's what it's all about, scholarships. And, oh, wow, excitement. Okay, and we're just excited. We're partnering with Coastal Alabama and implementing a new college and career ready program where our students are going to participate in a dual enrollment career tech program. We got about 20 kids doing that, and we're just excited about Vigor. We are the school that's spirit built, and our motto this year is Wolfpack mentality is winning mentality. Straight to the top, Wolfpack. Straight to the top.
Straight to the top it is. Well, there are so many amazing things going on at Vigor, academically and in sports. Yes. We are excited to see all that you accomplished this year.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you for speaking with us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you, Kim. Great interview right there with Principal Buchanan of Vigor. And Vigor has great field position. Ball at the 24-yard line of Blount after that short punt. They kick it out wide right quick. Trying to pick up the first down. Carlos Benjamin with the quick out. That pass from Sammy Dunn.
Yeah, what you want to do is you're looking at Sammy Dunn. He transfers in from Bayside Academy, threw for 1,837 yards and 19 touchdowns a season ago for the Admirals. Now he's calling and running the signals for offensive coordinator KJ May, and we're looking forward to getting him into an offensive rhythm and seeing what he's going to bring to this Wolfpack program.
Second and about 4 coming up here for Vigor. Benjamin goes into motion. They get it out to him, Corey. He's on the way in. Has enough for the first down. It's going to set up Vigor first and goal. Looks like they're putting the ball on the 9-yard line.
Yeah, that's another safe pass to Green Pants Benjamin, and he had 9 receptions for 102 yards a season ago, and here it is early in this contest. He has a couple, and now we're looking at Vigor in prime territory, first and goal, trying to get our first score of the contest.
And we know Benjamin, he is instant offense for Vigor. We have seen him take it to the house a few times. Dunn rolling to his left. Pressure on him. He's going to have to eat this one. Smashed right there near the 7 or 8 yard line. Second and goal coming up. A flag on the play near the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's normally in the area of holding, but anytime you scramble out of the pocket, you just have to beware. Chase Howard does a good job of cleaning up defensively for the Leopards, and we'll see. It looks like Vigor's walking backwards already.
The offense.
Got to push the Wolves back 10 yards, back to about the 19.
And that's one of those things early in this contest I want to keep an eye on is how many penalties we see for both of these programs, but especially if you're Matty T. Blount. Ray Nelson just wants your team to be disciplined as well as Coach McKenzie, and we'll see if Vigor can dig themselves out of this hole.
First and goal from the 19. Jet sweep action right here from Vigor. Great handoff as they get it to Garrett Holcomb. He's one of those members of the 4x100 back-to-back state championship teams in track for Vigor this past year. They won back-to-back track titles, so they definitely have some speed on this offense for the Wolves.
Yeah, plenty of weapons, and we'll see here. So far, they've just been throwing to the perimeter, a little pitch and catch easy to go ahead and get confidence of your quarterback, and we'll see if they decide to go vertical now. Al, you're at second and goal here from right around the 13-yard line, so we'll see here if Sammy Dunn is able to scan the field and connect for a touchdown.
Carlos Benjamin Jr. back in the ball game just to the right of Dunn. Holcomb goes into motion. Pressure on Dunn. He gets rid of it. Smart of him to do that. Throws it away. Third and goal coming up here for the Wolves.
Outstanding job of the Leopards bringing pressure. And they just had one too many that they weren't able to pick up and block. And Dunn was smart enough to go ahead, instead of taking the hit or the sack, to go ahead and throw that away and to live another down. Third and goal now coming up for the Wolfpack from the Leopards' 13-yard line.
We know that John McKenzie calls his own plays. He's a good play caller. Has the offensive coordinator help of KJ May, but you know Coach McKenzie plays the call. I believe we have a timeout on the field.
And that will be a safe timeout to make sure, again, they have the correct personnel in the game.
And we do have timeout on the field at the 7:56 mark. Got to thank our folks over there at BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel from baseball to basketball and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. Also, we want to thank Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs and save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Got to thank Firehouse and BSN for hopping back on board with us again another year, Corey.
Absolutely, two exciting sponsors that take care of the crew each and every year here on MCPSS Television Network. We thank them for, again, making sure that we stay not hungry coming in and you don't hear our stomachs growling here on air, and take care of our crew as
I'll
well.
say we're looking good and we feel full.
There you go. Absolutely. And
how about that?
Al, when you're looking at a situation for 3rd and goal for the Wolfpack, you don't want to make a decision here to where you turn the football over. You want to try to get half of this right here, and if it's man-to-man coverage that the Leopards are playing, I like the one-on-one matchups, a little cushion being given by these DBs from Matty T. Blount.
Dunn tosses it over the top, incomplete, trying to get it to Jamarion Osborne, and another penalty marker on the turf just past the 15-yard line. Good shot right there of Coach McKenzie and his crew. And it looks as if this is going to be a hold.
Holding against the offense, decline, 4th down.
And center, Tykerius Tucker, 6'3", 300-pound senior. He is an Alabama State commit, so he's one that really anchors this offensive line. But this offensive line, of course, being without 5-star All-American Micah Dubose, who is now at Theodore High School.
Correct.
So, I mean, you look at these couple of penalties that have been committed in the red zone area. Vigor just trying to not hurt themselves more than they help themselves. It's declined here. We'll go down to 4th down. It'll be 4th and goal, and we'll see Vigor attempt a field goal.
Malik Fremont on for a 30-yard field goal. We saw him boot one up through the uprights as Vigor were wrapping up their warm-ups here at Ladd. And Corey, if I'm correct, I'm going to look at the scoreboard again. And that timeout has been attributed to Vigor.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure
so Coach
that they had
McKenzie takes another timeout.
Yeah, it's smart when you look at this. Vigor all-time, Al, 38-14-0 versus Blount. And you look at the emotions that go into this contest. I talked about it in my checklist at the beginning of the game, to where you just have to make sure that you let your poise set in. This is Vigor's first offensive opportunity. They get all the way into the red zone area, close to inside the 10-yard line, have a couple of penalties that kind of drove them in the wrong direction. But Vigor, the 3rd phase of the game right here is going to be huge when you attempt a 30-yard field goal for the Wolfpack.
Coach McKenzie told us the other day when he talked to us, he was confident in his special teams, especially the leg of Malik Fremont. Kick is up and no good. The 30-yard field goal, no good. We're still notched at zeros in the Battle of Pritchard. Coach McKenzie going to take his shot right there, Corey. He's not afraid to go for the points.
No, I like the fact that you have confidence in your kicker. A little wide left there to make it no good, but that's a tremendous stand for the Matty T. Blount Leopards, and their opportunity to go up against this Vigor offense, who was directly in the red zone area, and now will be 1st and 10 for Blount's, Matty T. Blount's 2nd offensive possession.
They're taking over at the 20-yard line, almost somewhat like a do-over here for the Leopards. Hand off. to Williams. He scoots forward for about 2 or 3 yards. Bring up second down. After this play, we'll get up the Vigor defense.
And that's Chicken Guerra. You'll hear me call him Chicken because that is his nickname.
Yep.
And again, the 6'2", 217-pound sophomore coming off a 32 tackle, 8.5 sack performance last season. You can see why we're focused on him this afternoon.
Handoff once again to Williams as he picks up a couple. Let's take a look at that Vigor defense. They play a 3-4 with junior defensive end Devin Whitson providing pressure up front on a line averaging 230 pounds. Coming off the edge from his jack position, we just talked about him, Jabarius Chicken Gara. He's a sophomore committed to Alabama. He'll be looking to light up the Leopards tonight. Senior Mike linebacker Kentonio Kelly Jr. will clog up the middle for the Wolves, while Louisiana Lafayette commit Kevin Malone plays lockdown corner for a stingy Wolfpack secondary. They allowed only 13.9 points a game last season. And on second down, they almost gave up the first down, Corey. I'm sorry, third down. It's going to be fourth down and short coming up.
Great job of Kevin Malone, like you just mentioned, coming up, committed to the Raging Cajuns. The 5'9", 175-pound senior makes a shoestring tackle. And here it is, decision-making time at 4th and 1, whether Matty T. Blount decides to go ahead and trust that big offensive line up front and get that 1 yard that they need.
Kendrick Nord going to call it here. They're going for it behind Coach Ray Nelson. They give it to Williams. He is stopped there right at the A-gap. The ball is out. It's on the ground. Even if Blount loses it, it will be turnover on downs. Or did he have enough for the first down? Let's see what they call it.
He had enough for the first down. That's how he fumbled the ball.
He got it past the line, the threshold, so it's a first down. The chain game moves, Corey.
He was stretching out, trying to go ahead and get that additional yardage, and as he did so, it was very loose, like a loaf of bread away from your body, and they were able to knock it away. And we'll take our first official heat timeout, Al, of this afternoon.
Let's take it down to the sideline with Kimberly Dunn. She has another interview lined up. Who do you have, Kim?
I'm here with Blount's principal now, Mr. Woods. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. It's the Battle of Pritchard.
It is the Battle of Pritchard. So much excitement in the air. We were already able to speak with Vigor's principal and hear some of the amazing things that are going on there. So now it's your turn. Tell us about the great things going on at Blount High School.
Man, there's a ton of things going on at Blount High School. We're happy that we started school on a big note. Over 1,100 kids, which is a huge increase for us. We're super happy that we've increased our report card score each of the last 3 years. Academically, we're on the move. We're doing things with dual enrollment. Our signature academy is still healthcare, so we're producing those kids college and career ready. Got the highest graduation rate in Mobile County, and we're super excited about that.
Way to go, Blount Leopards, right? With your signature academy, what are some of those connections your students have been able to make looking forward to the future and those careers?
Yeah, like I said, healthcare is our signature academy. So we're producing CNAs, hopefully in the future phlebotomists, EMTs, EKG techs. So those kids graduate already with the credential ready to go to work. We're hoping that they're going to be nurses and doctors, but in the meantime, they can start off with the CNA, making some money, and getting their career started.
And for parents and students that may be watching tonight and this is piquing their interest, where can they go to learn more about these programs and find out how they can get involved?
There's a wealth of information on MCPSS.com. You can reach the Blount website from there. Once you're on the Blount website, you can hear about all the exciting things happening in Leopardland. We'd love to have your student become a Leopard.
Now, how is your Signature Academy program doing overall? We've been talking about some of the things that they are doing, but overall, how are they performing?
It's top tier. It's 100% graduation rate. 100% of those kids credential. They're walking out there ready to go be the next doctors, nurses, EKG techs. They're walking out ready. Like I said, college and career ready, and that's what it's all about for high schools.
Absolutely. Amazing things going on in the classroom, amazing things going on the football field. We wish you the best of luck tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me, and as always, go Leopards.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Fumble caused by Kentonio Kelly. I know Coach Woods is not going to be happy when he turns around to see that Vigor now has the ball. Corey, 1st and 10, right at the red zone, ball on the 21-yard line of Blount.
Sammy Dunn now will have a chance to have some momentum with green pants in the backfield.
Carlos Benjamin Jr. with the run, and he is just tackled. Chase Howard in on the tackle with a gang of leopards.
It means a lot to him. His brother played in this game and had an opportunity to pass on words of wisdom. But Kentonio Kelly, from a Vigor standpoint, he comes in as the 3A lineman of the year, transferring in from Mobile Christian, had over 209 tackles a year ago, scoops up that fumble that was given by Chris Wiggins. And I said at the beginning on my checklist, you must protect the pigskin. And that's the first turnover of the contest. Now we'll see here if Vigor is able to capitalize and get into the red zone area once again.
No gain on the play for Carlos Benjamin Jr., so it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up. And we'll have to wait for that after a timeout called by Vigor. So Vigor down to 2 timeouts, Blount down to 1 timeout. We'll take a timeout as well with 4:01 remaining in the first quarter. You're watching the Battle of Pritchard here at MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today, leading tomorrow, and this year we are growing greatness. And we're looking for greatness in this contest between Vigor and Blount, the Battle of Pritchard. Al Wheaton, Coralie Bounty. Down on the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn bringing you the action from Ladd Peebles Sports Complex, Corey.
Exciting action of high school football here. We'll see if the Wolfpack is able to capitalize off this turnover by the Leopards.
2nd down and 10. He faked the handoff to Carlos Benjamin Jr. Throw it out in the flat. They flash it out right there. Slight pickup for the Wolves. Kevin Malone with the reception. Well, actually no gain. 3rd and 10. Ball still at the 20-yard line.
And that's something that you've seen Sammy Dunn really throw one vertical pass so far beyond 10 or more yards. Everything else has kind of been short to the perimeter and swing passes. And we'll see here if Vigor decides to take its shot with multiple wide receivers, Al, or whether they decide to throw it underneath and take advantage of the speedsters coming out of the backfield.
Dunn airs it out, trying to get it to Garrett Holcomb. Did he come down with it? Touchdown. He drug the foot in the back of the end zone. Vigor's on the scoreboard first.
And that was an outstanding shot and an outstanding throw by Sammy Dunn. And it looked like Jamarian Osborne was the one who came away with it. But you look, I was asking them to go vertical. They were able to go vertical. The 6-foot, 185-pound senior was able to get that 1 foot in. You see the turf kind of slide up. What a tremendous throw and catch. Tremendous time. And Sammy Dunn with his first touchdown thrown as a member of the Wolfpack.
Good eyeballs right there, Cora. Appreciate it. That was Osborne with the reception. And we got a shot of Willie Anderson, Stewmead, in the back of the end zone back there, filming it all with his camera. PAT is up. Good, but we have a flag on the play. Yeah,
I mean, you have 2 Hall of Famers there at the back of the end zone. You have Tommy Hicks, who is a sports writer, been covering it for a long time, along with future NFL Hall of Famer Willie Anderson, located in that far end zone of the touchdown that was just scored.
So false start against Blount. False start against Vigor. So we'll have a re-kick here on the PAT. See if Fremont can make it back to back. And one of the Leopards comes across the line. Corey, it looked like it went through uprights again.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get that yardage right back, and we'll see and have another redo to see if Fremont can continue to increase his chances of extra points on the season, being 1 of 1 if he's able to knock this through.
This is reminiscent of my golf game, Corey. We call them mulligans. I don't mind taking a few mulligans, Corey.
We'll see right here. I mean, he paces himself off and was able to have enough leg on that field goal, and he definitely has a nice leg on him, and it's up and now.
And it is no good. No good. We'll take a break. Vigor scores first. They're up by 6 in the Battle of Pritchard.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
Join Homeroom with Renee Phillips and find out the latest homework tips and what's happening inside the schools and classrooms. It's Homeroom with Renee Phillips right here on the MCPSS TV network. You're tuned in to the Battle of Pritchard. Vigor with the score 6-0 right now, 3:41 remaining in the first quarter. Good shot right there of the Vigor band. They're all excited.
And reason to be, strike up the school fight song after that outstanding throw and catch. And it all boils down to points off of turnovers.
That's right.
And what you have to go ahead and realize, if you're Chris Wiggins, put that last turnover behind you, go ahead and secure the football. And I know offensive coordinator Kendrick Nord will be talking to him about it for sure. And in the situation, if you are Vigor, you want to continue to swarm to the football, and you're led by Kentonio Kelly, your middle linebacker, but special teams hits here on kickoffs have been fun to watch too.
Fremont booms it to one of the up guys. Nice return right there by the Leopards up to about the 33-yard line. That was Lazarick Johnson, a.k.a. 9-volt, all over the field. Offense, defense, special teams for the Leopards. Offensive coordinator Kendrick Nord is going to get another shot at it right now. Blount was trying to make some progress there, Corey, but quarterback lost the ball. Wiggins got away from him. Now, that's ironic. Baseball player, they typically hold the ball pretty good, but Kentonio Kelly, generally on the spot, knocks the pigskin out.
His first opportunity to be in this type of environment, and I guarantee you'll learn from that one mistake that he did make here on 1st and 10 from his own 34-yard line. We'll see here what his offensive coordinator gives him from a confidence standpoint.
Bunch set at the bottom. Pressure on Wiggins, pressure on him. He escapes. Flag on the play. That one thrown by Ron Coleman, our referee tonight. I believe that might be a hold coming back, Corey.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy call to make for sure.
Ron Coleman and his crew tonight. Christopher Benton, Otis Mays, Terrell Peoples, George Washam, Scott LaForce, and Carl McDowell on the field tonight. Plus, we have there's another special guest. We may be able to hear from him later on, Corey. We won't reveal his name, but we saw a real special guest on the field before the game tonight.
Yeah, you have people from all over the state that come to see this one, and as we continue to see the crowd swell here at Ladd Peoples Stadium, you have to love this environment for Saturday evening football.
1st and 20 coming up now for Blount. Ball at the 24-yard line. Wiggins just flashes it out to Jerome Williams. Williams gets a big chunk of it. A late penalty flag comes in. And our statistician, China Powell, said, wait a minute, I just did math. Now I got to do some subtraction. Come on. Another penalty flag here.
You know, in this situation, it is a great opportunity to give your quarterback a lot of confidence with the little swing pass to your speedster coming out of the backfield. And Jerome Williams, he was able to catch that football and go downhill with it, but unfortunately that old dirty rag came out first.
On the offense.
That'll push the Leopards back. Speaking of old dirty rag, Corey, you told me the legendary one and only Santee Gamble is on the PA today.
Yeah, and Coach Gamble, when I talked to Coach Nelson, he said that he would be on the PA, and I know that he is a huge, huge asset to the tradition that is at Matty T. Blount High School, and, you know, a former coach there, and you just hear his voice, and that old dirty rag is where I get it from, the legendary Coach Gamble.
So spot foul on the play on that hold. It'll push it up to the 27-yard line. Now, I believe there was a sideline warning, a flag, but now I hear timeout by Coach Santee Gamble has been called. Nope, that's the – they gave them a warning early, Corey, so I believe they're going to enforce it here. So we do have a break in the play. So I spoke too soon. That is the official sideline warning given to Blount. I thought they gave them one earlier. I thought they had.
And now you're at 1st and 17 for Matty T. Blount after the assessment, and we'll see here what Chris Wiggins can come up with.
The line of gain is the 44-yard line. Wiggins has time, tries to go over the top, intercepted by Vigor. Kevin Malone with the pick. Second turnover today for Blount.
And again, Kevin Malone, 5'9", 175-pound senior, just reads the quarterback's eyes, does a great job coming up and undercutting the route, and he has a nice return. He had 2 interceptions 1 year ago. He has 1 to start this 2024 season. Kevin Malone cashing in on this defense, and again, Chris Wiggins, he did a good job earlier of protecting the football, but that's going to be another turnover, and we'll see if Vigor's able to turn it into points off of turnovers once again.
1st and 10, ball on the 28. Carlos Benjamin Jr. loses his lid after the run. Correction, not Benjamin Jr. on that run.
You go to the roster right there, it's going to be
Kingston
Bush.
Bush with the carry. That 7 looked like a 1, Corey.
Yeah, and the thing for Vigor is now you do have 1 in the backfield, so you have fresh bodies that are rotating in and out, but it's 2nd and 4 for the Wolfpack.
Quick handoff for Vigor, keeping it on the ground once again. Coach McKenzie running it. Demetrius Johnson with the carry. May have picked up 1 or 2, and Ron Coleman throws a flag. I believe some extracurricular activities are taking place inside the Battle of Pritchard.
Yeah, after the play there, Ryan Williams on the tackle, 6'1", 200-pound junior, comes up from his middle linebacker position with the stop, and we'll have a dead ball foul. Probably unsportsmanlike. We'll see if it is offsetting to where after they walk it off both ways, we'll wind up just go ahead and resuming from where we came from. It's just all a matter of who got caught first. And sometimes it's the second person who gets caught instead of the first person who initiated, and we'll see exactly what Ron Coleman and his crew are able to derive.
That ball after the play on sportsmanlike conduct on the blue team, taunting.
So they called it against Blount. So that's going to give Vigor the first down, and they move inside the red zone once again, looking to get points off turnovers. They've already scored off of a fumble. Now this interception from Kevin Malone. Let's see if John McKenzie and the Wolves coaching staff can take advantage of it. Ball pushed up to the 11-yard line.
Benjamin is where you normally go in this situation. Had 18 touchdowns rushing a year ago. We'll see if he's able to make it number 1 on this season.
They go back to Carlos Benjamin Jr. He pushes it up to the 8, picks up a couple yards. Vigor can pick up a first down without scoring. I believe they would need to get to the 1-yard line to pick up the first down. So this ball is sitting at the 6.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the Wolfpack. As you mentioned, Al, with the ball resting right at the Leopards' 6-yard line, you have your head coach, John McKenzie. Again, the green pants, we call him green pants because that's what he used to wear in Park League. We'll see if Benjamin, as he comes back onto the field now, we'll see if McKenzie has to spend a timeout.
Play clock down to 3, 2, 1. Let's see if they get the snap off. They do. They toss it. Carried by Johnson once again. He picks up a couple, gets inside of the 5, up to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Let's see where they spotted it. So it's at the 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 yards to go to pick up a first down, or 3 yards to pick up a score for the Wolves.
And we'll see if the running backs are able to run this in, but Jalston Fowler, they call him Nudie. He is a former Vigor player and also a national champion at Alabama NFL player. He coaches the running backs now for the Wolfpack. We'll see if he's able to get his backs in the end zone.
Dunn looking to pass.
Oh, easy pitching catch.
And that is a touchdown, and I'll get it right this time, Corey. That is Garrett Holcomb who hauls in the 3-yard score.
5'10", 180-pound junior was able to have 6 receiving touchdowns a year ago, puts number 1 on the board for the Wolfpack, and that is a second opportunity to have points off of turnovers by the Leopards. Vigor capitalizing here for sure.
Fremont on for the PAT. Blount appears as if they're not going to rush the extra point attempt. They rush a couple. Kick is up, and it is good. Vigor up by 13. We'll take it to a break here at the Battle of the Pritchard. 17 seconds remain in the first quarter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
All right, Corey, get ready. It's time for attacks, blocks, digs, dinks, and kills. That means it's time for volleyball action. Catch Nicole Keyshock and Nancy Shoquist weekly as they bring you the MCPSS High School Volleyball Game of the Week starting September 5th. High school volleyball action headed your way, and I can personally say, for myself, it starts Monday. My daughter has a match up at North Mobile County. She plays at Clark Shaw.
Yeah, you have to love the excitement that's growing with high school volleyball,
right,
especially here along the Gulf Coast. And Vigor's crowd continues to grow along with Mattie T. Blount, and we'll see if the scoreboard deficit grows in the Blount's favor here as they have the 3rd offensive possession.
P.J. Miller with the return as he is brought down about the 23-yard line. Blount will take possession once again. Their 4th possession in the first quarter. Only 10 seconds remain.
Demetrius Johnson on the special teams tackle for the Wolfpack. Great job of just running his lanes. And now we'll see if you have the confidence coming back with Chris Wiggins, because you threw an interception, you had a fumble, but you know, the quarterback, you just have to put everything behind you. All your mistakes, you have to play the next play. We'll see here, you need to sustain a drive here if you're a Mattie T. Blount.
Very important to do that. Something Coach Nelson talked about. You got to have your emotions in check. They flare it out to T.J. Miller. He just had that return, but Vigor's all on top of him. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter with Vigor on top 13-0. Let's see if our head official, Ron Coleman, now he signals end of the first quarter. We'll take a break and bring you more action from Ladd Peebles Memorial Stadium Entertainment Complex. You're watching the Battle of Pritchard on the MCPSS High School Game of the Week.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Second quarter action about to begin in the Battle of Pritchard. Vigor versus Blount. Vigor on top 13-0. They're on top, Corey. 2 scores off of turnovers from Blount.
Yeah, we'll see if the Leopards here have to sustain a drive to keep this defense off of the field, and Vigor swarming to the football and gang tackling as we begin the second quarter.
That tackle led by Kentonio Kelly and a few other Wolves, and the Vigor faithful are definitely getting excited. It's going to be 3rd and long coming up. They're keeping the pressure turned up on Wiggins and the Leopards.
Not the ideal situation if you are Chris Wiggins and offensive coordinator Kendrick Nord. You want to keep it in the 2nd and 3rd and manageable. Now you're looking at a 3rd and long. You don't want to turn the football over and give Vigor great field position once again. So this is a huge play call for the Leopards.
7-yard loss on that last play. Wiggins gets it out, incomplete, as he tried to get it to Kyron Richardson. Kyron Richardson is going to bring up 3rd down here for Blount.
And now you are in a situation, Al, you're behind the sticks. You intended that pass for the 5'11", 150-pound junior that was incomplete, and you bring up 4th down.
Correction, 4th down, Corey.
In this situation, and you have the speedsters that are back for the Wolfpack. We've already seen one huge return, and you need to make sure special teams wise that you don't commit a penalty.
Timeout called by Blount here, Corey.
And you want to make sure you have the right personnel on the field. So that is a very wise timeout that is being called by the Leopards.
And I believe that is their last timeout of the first half. Scoreboard says Blount is out of timeout. So this reminds me of our good friend at Murphy who used to coach, Coach Jackson. He would burn him. He didn't care, Corey. It's only the first half.
Exactly. You have 3 to use in each half, and when you want to make sure that you don't do anything to cost your team. Now, the Leopards going to punt this football away. Special teams, that 3rd phase is always huge in any game, but it can be magnified right here.
Evan Elakima back to punt for the Leopards. Decent punt. Fielded near the 44-yard line by Garrett Holcomb. He runs it up into the 20, but we do have a flag on the play. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have our Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. Chick-fil-A is back on board with us, so stick around. Some kind of way in between the bands having their battle, Kimberly Dunn is going to get a lucky fan and ask them a question, see if they can come away with a Chick-fil-A prize pack, all part of our Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. And Ryan Coleman is signaling that this one is coming back, I believe. He'll give us the interpretation on the flag here.
You got the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Vigor's going to lose some yards on that nice return by Garrett Holcomb.
And Holcomb with offers from North Alabama, Louisville, Michigan, Austin Peay, Alabama State, and Alabama A&M. You mentioned him being part of that relay team, but the Wolfpack take over directly on the 50-yard line. It opens up the entire playbook for Coach McKenzie to give the Dunn, whether he wants to go vertical or whether he wants to give it and show the balance of the offense running the football.
Pro-style set right there as Dunn fires it right across the middle. As my late father-in-law would say, he zotted that thing, Al.
Dylan Jackson, 5'7", 165-pound junior, had 15 receptions a season ago. Make that number 1 for him, but a great play action and a great throw and catch once again by Sammy Dunn. You look at the run game, the balance. Now Coach McKenzie still with the entire playbook in the red zone area as they are right at the 16-yard line of the Leopards.
And Corey, Dunn had plenty of time to throw it. Great blocking from the big fellas up front. 2 backs to the offset of Dunn. They hand it off to Carlos Benjamin Jr. and he's tripped up near the line of scrimmage, falls forward for about 2 yards. So it'll be 2nd down coming up here for the Wolfpack.
And if you're the Wolfpack, you just want to make sure that you don't commit any penalties, that you keep this down and distance very manageable for your quarterback. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Dunn, 6 out of 8, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns so far. John Vella, Johnny on the spot here for AL.com.
Dunn having a great night so far, his Vigor debut. Transferred in from Bayside Academy. Pressure on Dunn. He just flips it out to Carlos Benjamin Jr. And Green Pants dances into the end zone. Vigor hits pay dirt once again.
Outstanding throw. Sammy Dunn with the pressure coming. The defensive back was kind of frozen. He hesitated, saw that Sammy had the football. Sammy put the ball on the money to where it had to be, to where only the back coming out of the backfield could receive it. Another touchdown for the Wolfpack. That's the third passing touchdown for Sammy Dunn, and it has been to 3 different wide receivers or running backs as well.
Fremont on for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is blocked. Our score 19-0. Vigor pitching a shutout in the Battle of Pritchard. We'll be back with more. Don't move.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Want to learn Spanish? No problem. Join Carlos Holly weekdays as he makes learning to speak Spanish fun and incredibly easy. It's Spanish for all levels and all ages. Tune into Ay Caray. Let's learn Spanish right here on the MCPSS TV network. Corey, I got to get my son to tune into that because he takes Spanish at Clark Shaw.
Hola is what I have for you there.
Yes, sir. I got to tell him to check that out.
And I know that, you know, we're saying hola to all the fans that are watching, whether it's on television or on social media. We do thank you for tuning in to MCPSS Television Network, Al.
Speaking of our writers, shout out to our good buddy Darren Patterson, got us locked in as he chimed in with your comment about Coach Santee Gamble. Well, yes, that's his line, that old dirty yellow rag.
Yeah,
it has been on the field a lot today.
It is great to hear and see Coach Gamble, but again, a tremendous crowd here, and the game 20-0 early here in the second quarter. As you kick that football out of bounds on the kickoff, and I know that once again, when you have an opportunity to respond to this touchdown, we'll see how Blount's offense, they have to sustain a drive here, and at least pick up a couple of first downs to take some time off of this clock in order to give themselves a puncher's chance in this heavyweight fight.
Corey, we're going to have to get a determination on our score. You just mentioned 20. Ladd has 20-0. We have 19-0. I saw the extra point was blocked on this extra point by Fremont. So we'll have to look into that. John Vila and I are both looking at each other like, the PAT was blocked, so it should be 19-0. So we'll get our I-team on top of that to find out. But right now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 35 for the Leopards.
The Leopards taking over here on offense. Let's see if Chris Wiggins can get any momentum going and, like I said, pick up a couple of first downs with his offense.
Hand off to Jerome Williams. He's been running consistently tonight for Blount. Just can't seem to break one into the open for the Leopards. Picks up about 3 or 4. Brings up 2nd and 6 here for Matty T. Blount.
Jamarian Osborne on the stop there, and I know the adjustment is made on the game clock here at Land Peoples Stadium. Now it does say it is 19-0.
See there? John Vela knows people, Corey LeBounty. John Vela knows people. And speaking of people, I'm not going to make a comment, but a special guest has just joined us in the broadcast booth. Hand off to Williams once again. No, that is Lazarick Johnson. 9-volt is shut down right there by the Wolfpack, tackled for a loss. It's going to bring up 3rd down for Blount.
Osborne once again in on the huge tackle for the Wolfpack, and now you're in a situation to where you're at 3rd and 7 yards to go, and at 3rd and 7 from your own 37-yard line. What you have to be careful of here if you're Chris Wiggins, to make sure that you protect the pigskin. You don't want to fumble or throw an interception, and that's what you have to watch out for here if you are Matty T. Blount.
Hand off to Wiggins. He flares it out in the flat, pass complete, but that's going to be no gain hardly there for the Leopards. It's going to take them to 4th down. Once again, a punting situation coming up for Blount.
And that's Jamarian Osborne from his bandit position, 6 foot, 185-pound senior, being very active here on this drive for the Wolfpack. And unfortunately, Blount was not able to sustain a first down on that drive, and it's going to give it right back over to this explosive offense of the Wolfpack, who have been on fire and scored on their last couple of drives.
Garrett Holcomb and Kevin Malone lined up at their own 35-yard line to receive this punt from Ella Kima, and they're going to play Peter, keep away, as the Wolfpack, they want to stay away from that. They're going to get great field position. Corey, ball is going to be placed at their own 39-yard line. And once again, as of right now, I'm going to say it, it has been the Sammy Dunn show. A great debut for the young man. Has thrown for 3 touchdowns already tonight.
Well, you'll be able to see here what he's able to do in this situation. He took over from the 50-yard line one drive ago. This time, he does not take over from the 50. He takes over from his own 39. But I mentioned in my checklist about the balance here of Vigor. We'll see if they're able to run it or whether go vertical here with Vigor.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Hand off to Carlos Benjamin Jr. No, it's a keeper by Sammy Dunn. He faked me out, but he didn't fake out the cameraman. He picks up about 7 on that carry.
And that's where you want to make sure that you have containment. Matty T. Blount did a great job in containment that time on the read option. He decided to go ahead and pull it down. You don't want to take too many of those hits if you're Sammy Dunn, but
right.
It does bring up a 2nd down and 2 yards to go for the Wolfpack.
This time he does give it to Carlos Benjamin Jr. He weaves his way outside, back in and back out again as he crosses the midfield stripe up to about the 45. It's going to be a 1st down here for the Wolves as we approach 6 minutes, getting close to our 2nd heat timeout of the night.
Benjamin with outstanding footwork, and he's able to start and stop very quickly. And when you're able to change directions and be so shifty as a back, it creates problems for defenders and a new fresh set of downs for the Wolfpack.
1st and 10 for Vigor from the Blount 45-yard line. Benjamin offset to the left. Dunn back to pass, has time. They're going to set up a little screen to Garrett Holcomb. Look at Holcomb. He could not spin out of the tackle of the Blount defender. But, Corey, that's enough for another 1st down. The chain gang will move.
And one thing that Vigor has been able to do, they have been able to produce 1st downs. They have been able to move the sticks. And unfortunately for Matty T. Blount, they have not been able to keep Vigor from moving the sticks. But another fresh set of downs keep your defense on the field that much longer.
Ball being placed at the 33-yard line of Blount. Vigor still on the move, up 19 points right now. John McKenzie and the Wolfpack are clicking. Bunch set to the top left. Dunn has a couple guys open. I believe he's going to air this one and overthrow. But that interception is no good out of the end zone. Blount came down with it out of the field of play.
And you saw Dunn climb the pocket. He stepped up, and gathered.
Right.
Put a little bit too much underneath that one, and because of it, he's lucky that that goes into the back of the end zone, and it could have been the first turnover for the Matty T. Blount Leopard fans.
He had 2 receivers to pick from. Let's take a look at the replay right here, coming at you straight from the end zone. Just got a little too much mustard on it. The momentum carried the defender out of the field of play. So it's a do-over here for Dunn. Let's see what Coach John McKenzie is going to dial up for Vigor. They do give the handoff to Carlos Benjamin Jr. He inches forward about 1 yard. 3rd and 9 coming up, and flags litter the field, Corey LeBounty.
A little after the play action, maybe, because he definitely was down on the ground when the flags came flying out by our officials on the field, and we go from maybe a dead ball foul. We'll see exactly what it could have been. They're looking over to the Wolfpack sideline to see exactly what we have. I don't know if it could have been a late holding or what it was, but let's see if it's a dead ball foul nonetheless by Ron Coleman as he's looking to assess it.
Well, Ron Coleman has now pulled out his notepad and his little ink pencil, Corey, so I believe we're going to have an unsportsmanlike assessed against someone.
Yeah, and it's either for what was said or the actions, but nonetheless,
Right.
The chain crew has already moved, and we'll see after the play. It definitely was a dead ball after the play, and he comes in and goes ahead. Oh, yeah, that's definitely unsportsmanlike all day long, and, you get caught with your hands in the cookie jar there.
Huh?
It looks like Elijah Smith. Yeah, Elijah Smith should be
Elijah
ejected.
Smith has been tossed. That's his
Heat
second.
timeout.
His second unsportsmanlike conduct. We have our heat timeout. Let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in once again with Kimberly Dunn. She has another guest with her.
That's right. Now I have a school board member for District 3, Dr. Crenshaw. How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Now, these are two of your schools that are in your district. What does a game like this mean to the community?
It means a lot to the community. That's when we moved it out to Ladd Stadium where we got more room. It's probably going to be about 16,000 to 17,000 people here. It's great for safety. It's great for the revenue for the school, and everybody's having a great time.
Absolutely. What role do you see athletics playing in overall educational experiences for students?
It's great. One, for students, it gives them a chance to get leadership, get new friends, and to have learn self-control. To make sure that we learn discipline on the field and off the field.
Absolutely. Are there any initiatives to enhance the athletic programs or facilities in Mobile County?
Yeah, we just built new stadiums for everybody in the county. That's a great accomplishment. And now we also have put artificial turf on those fields. So that revenue for the schools go a long way. Football really funds all the other athletics on the campus. So this is a great opportunity for them.
And what kind of benefits do you see when you're able to pour into those athletics just in the morale of the community and the students themselves?
Yeah, it's good for the community, and make sure that they excel academically and on the field. In order to stay eligible, they have to get their lessons. So it's a means of pushing academics and athletics at the same time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. I hope you enjoy the game.
All right, okay.
Thanks, Kimberly. Great interview with School Board Commissioner Dr. Crenshaw. Little run right there by Demetrius Johnson, Corey, inside of the red zone after that unsportsmanlike penalty. Vigor took possession at the 17-yard line of Blount. Now they've inched on up to about the 15.
Well, once again, it opens the entire playbook for Coach John McKenzie and quarterback Sammy Dunn. He just needs to make sure that he does protect the football and makes the correct read, because so far with the 3 touchdowns, all of them have been precision and precise. We'll see if he's able to get another one.
Actually, at the 13, quad set receivers to the top. John McKenzie pulling out everything in the playbook today. Plenty of room for Dunn to scramble. But can he get somewhere? He weaves his way inside of the 10. They're inside of the scoring zone now, down to about the 8. It'll be 3rd and short coming up for Vigor.
Yeah, having an opportunity now for 3rd and about 1 yard. We'll see if this offensive line is able to go ahead and take advantage of this Leopards defense that has been on the field for quite a long time here in the first half of action.
I'll go with you, Corley Bounty. 3rd and 1 coming up here for Vigor. Carlos Benjamin Jr. in the backfield. Looks like they're going to go to that power I formation. They hand it off to Carlos Benjamin Jr. He falls forward. He should have enough for the first down. Let's see what they spotted at.
Didn't need much, but Ryan Williams is on the stop. It looks like that'll be enough for 1st and goal to go for the Wolfpack. And we've seen here in this situation, Sammy Dunn look for Holcomb on the outside as a receiver, or you can go ahead and run the draw on the inside to Carlos Benjamin. That's part of that great balance that Vigor brings into tonight's contest.
Same formation again, 1st and goal from the 7 for the Wolves. They go with the up guy. He's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge will be coming up. Kimberly Dunn is going to try to get our first winner of the season tonight as she goes into the stands and selects someone, ask them a trivia question, give them a multiple choice answer. Corey, that's your favorite multiple choice, and we'll listen for the cow to moo and see if we'll get a winner for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge coming up at halftime. No gain on the play. Second down and goal here for the Wolves.
Under center is Dunn in a little play action rollout.
Trying to connect with Kingston Bush. Incomplete. That's a nice play they drew up right there. Vigor did, but it'll be third and goal right now. They couldn't capitalize.
And with the score being 19-0 here, Al, you have seen the leg power of Fremont. The kicker for
that is
the
correct.
Wolfpack, he attempted a 30-yarder earlier, but we do have another flag on the play.
5 men in the backfield against the offense. What do you want to do?
So legal formation against Vigor is going to push him back. You're right about that, Corey. He had the distance. It's just that the accuracy was off, kind of like I said about my golf game. The accuracy was off, but he had the leg for that 30-yard attempt. So we'll see what John McKenzie and the crew will come up with. But right now it's going to be second and goal from the 13-yard line. That pushes Vigor back 5 yards.
Jamarian Osborne and Holcomb, two big targets at the top of the screen here for the Wolfpack. And Dunn, he has all the options available to him from a wide receiver standpoint.
Dunn escapes, has room. Pressure comes from the Leopards. They force him up into the pocket. He continues to run. He's brought down near about the 6 or 7 yard line, so he got about 5 of those yards back. So now Vigor's back to where they originally were, third and goal from about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what type of formation coach decides to go, because when they scored one of the first touchdowns of the game, Holcomb was able to be available on a quick little route. And we'll see if the defense decides, the corners decide to press, or they decide to give a little 2 or 3 yard cushion here as they are deep in the red zone area.
Johnson just to the left of Sammy Dunn. Dunn goes up the middle. He's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Good closing right there by the Leopards to bring him down to prevent him going into the end zone.
Braxton Thompson, 5'11", 165-pound senior, comes up from his linebacker position and chases Dunn down. That's an outstanding defensive stance in the red zone area for the Matty T. Blount Leopards, and one that was much needed. And here on fourth down, we'll see. We'll call this definitely a win, and we'll see if they can get any momentum, Al, because with 1:10 remaining and ticking down, Matty T. Blount offense will have a chance to answer one more time before we go to the half.
Malik Fremont setting up for a 23-yard field goal. He has the angle right here, Corey. Let's see if he can punch it through. Kick is up and no good once again. So Fremont 0 for 2 on field goals tonight.
Again, wide left. That one looked like from our vantage point here in the press box area at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. And that is 2 missed opportunities to put special team points on the board. And with 49 seconds remaining here in the first half of action, we'll see if Blount decides to just go ahead and take it to the half, or whether they decide to capitalize. But for a minute here, want to shout out Matty T. Blount assistant coach Robert Williams. He is the wide receiver coach.
Yeah.
We know that he's tuned in and listening, was not able to make it to the game tonight in the hospital. Want to give our thoughts and prayers to him and Coach Robert Williams. Just know that you're definitely being thought and missed tonight in this game.
49 seconds remaining here in the first half. Don't forget, we will show you the halftime. Both bands are going to be taking the field. That pass is complete. Chris Wiggins completes that one across the middle, but we have the injured player down after making the reception.
Naheem Thomas, 6'2", 132-pound junior, goes and makes a great catch, and that is the longest offensive play of the night.
It is.
For Matty T. Blount, and unfortunately, after making that tremendous catch, great confidence by Chris Wiggins, he comes down pretty hard, probably knocked the air and the wind out of him because he wasn't able to brace himself, but that is the type of offensive production that Chris Wiggins is known to bring to this Leopard offense, and Thomas with the great catch, and we'll see and hope he's okay after having the air knocked out of him.
We'll take an injury timeout and come back. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I have known since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
Halftime Trivia Challenge, so don't move, stick around for that. Also got to thank BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel from baseball to basketball and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. Wiggins back to throw, keeps it up the middle, slides for the first down. 30 seconds, that'll stop the clock momentarily. No, he is just short. The slide started before the line to gain, Corey, so it's going to be 2nd and 1.
No timeouts, Blount. Matty T called all their timeouts. The clock continues to run. You either have to spike it and clock it. I would clock it here if I'm Matty T. Blount.
They are not clocking it, Corey. They are going to attempt to play. Wiggins across the middle. That one's ricochets off. It stops the clock at 5 seconds. No, the clock continues to tick here at Ladd for some reason. We should be stopped at 5 seconds.
And we'll see here if they decide to go ahead and put more time on the clock.
Right.
Or whether we take it to halftime to where it can be one last Hail Mary given.
And it appears as if Ron Coleman and the crew are going to let them play one more down.
Yeah, I mean, I saw at least
5 seconds
at least
back on
3
the clock.
seconds on the clock in that situation, and they do go ahead and put 5 on it. And at 19-0 our score, one last heave-ho Hail Mary opportunity as Vigor has 4 defenders back at the 25-yard line.
Trip receivers to the top. Naheem the Dream Thomas at the bottom. Wiggins escapes the pocket. This will be the last play of the first half unless there's a defensive penalty, and he is tackled out of bounds just inside of the 40-yard line. Quite an interesting first half, Corey Bounty, as Vigor scores off of 2 turnovers, and they punch another one in, up 19-0 right now.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing of the first half for this Vigor Wolfpack organization is being able to score points off of turnovers. We got off to a little of a slow start, but Sammy Dunn has calmed down. He's thrown 3 touchdowns here in the first half, and with the exception of special teams, Vigor has not been able to really make extra points or field goal opportunities. Coach McKenzie's probably going to want that cleaned up in the second half. And if you're Ray Nelson and the Leopards, you just want to make sure that you're able to come out in the second half and sustain drives.
You definitely want to be able to do that. We know 2 of those turnovers were caused by their own quarterback. One was a fumble and one was an interception, and Vigor has taken advantage of both of those. Unfortunately, like you said, Coach McKenzie, they had 2 other scoring opportunities. Don't forget, 2 missed field goals by Malik Fremont.
Yeah, it could be worse than what it is right now for certain. And if you were Matty T. Blount, again, you just want to regroup. It could be worse, but at the same time, you want to come out and, again, sustain drives offensively. If they're able to do that and limit the amount of turnovers, we'll have a much better second half here in the battle for Pritchard.
Last year, this ball game, Vigor was up at the half as well. Blount didn't get a score until the second half to avoid the shutout. So we know Coach Nelson and Kendrick Norton, the offensive crew, they're going to be talking about some things in the locker room. Kimberly Dunn making an effort to try to get with John McKenzie. Let's go to Kim right now.
I'm here with Coach McKenzie. Coach, how are you feeling about your team's performance so far tonight? You were able to come out and get 2 interceptions. How do you hope that y'all are able to continue to build on that momentum?
Well, we still relatively new to each other. We're still trying to learn a new system on offense and defense.
but they playing extremely hard. We're a talented group of guys, always concerned about conditioning. That's one of our things, and if we come out, we need to play even better in the second half, so I know where our conditioning is.
And what are some of those things that you hope your team is able to come back and improve on? We know that they've missed 2 opportunities with special teams, so is that something you're going to talk to your team about?
Yeah, I think that special team, Blount, we got a pretty good kicker that kicks well in practice, and big moment, he's struggling tonight, but we're going to believe in it. We finally got a kicker here at Vigor, and he's going to be special. It's just a matter of coming out and finishing. I'm new to this team, and everything is new to me, so I don't know what to expect, but I know we got a talented group of guys.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for taking a moment and speaking with us, and I'll let you get with your team.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. It is halftime. Let's take it down to the field. The Vigor Marching Wolves are on the field right now.
Now sit back and relax and dance and make your way through the groove to the sounds of Rawton by Tiger. Now focus your attention to the field as the Dazzling Dogs mesmerize you to Beyonce, Deja Vu. From the Dazzling Dogs. Oh, yeah. The show has begun. Our principal, Mississippi Buchanan, assistant principal, Kimberly Kelly, Rick Moore, Mosquito Barnes, auxiliary coordinator, Alicia Todd, American Stalwart, Alexandra Simmons, the choreographer, assistant director, Joseph Stanton, Kirsten Washington, Greg Turner, and your director of band, the Gilbert Center II.
It is time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Let's take it out into the stands and check in with Kimberly Dunn.
For our Chick-fil-A Time Trivia Challenge, and I this guest with me tonight. Yeah. Oh. Names and where you go to school. Yes, and where do you go to school?
I go to Pritchard.
Okay, and what is, you said this is your cousin. What's her name and where does she go to school? Borders.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties with our microphone with Kimberly Dunn. Right now, let's take it back down to the field as Maddie T. Blount Marching Leopards take over for their halftime performance.
Prime time. Prime time. Adam. Show him some love. What you're about to witness is the most exciting man in the land. Make no mistake about it. We are all What school in the land salute? And we're back. Hang on to your hats and hold on to your seats as the Dazzling Diamond perform too. Waiting for Tonight by J-Lo.
Sounds of the mighty marching Blount Leopards as we go out with our #1 fans. We'll be back with the second half and a look at first half stats headed your way for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Whedon, Corley Bounty on the sidelines. We have Kimberly Dunn. And Corey Vigor is pitching a shutout in the first half, 19-0. Let's take a look at first half stats. We'll get those numbers up and let them explain the story for us.
Yeah, when you look at the rushing yards for Vigor, 56 and 22 for Blount. The passing yards, 117. And total yards, 156 to 39. That's what I was talking about going into halftime. Matty T. Blount having to come out in the second half and establish drives. You look at the points off turnovers and the penalties. They haven't been huge tonight, but our score is 19-0 in favor of the Wolfpack, and Vigor trying to go ahead and add to the winning streak that they already have within this series. And I know that a great crowd, 2 great high school bands really rocking the crowd tonight, and the energy that both fan bases do get from the bands. I know both of us are up here bobbing our heads at halftime too.
Let's see if some energy's down on the sideline. Kimberly Dunn has Coach Ray Nelson of Matty T. Blount with her.
Coach Nelson, what was the atmosphere like in the locker room during halftime?
It was upbeat. It was positive. You know, the kids, the seniors on this team, we was in this position last year. We know the position we're in. It's a 3-possession game. We killed ourselves in the first half. The turnovers, the penalties defensively, the field position, you know, everything that could have went bad in the first half went bad. And we told the kids that, look, that's the worst half you can play in a big rivalry game like this. So, hey, it's no pressure in the second half. Come out, make plays, play hard, finish the game.
Yeah, and as we were walking out here, I heard you mentioning to your sidelines, they're going to match our energy. What are you hoping to accomplish by saying that we need to come out energetic and let them know that we're still in this football game?
Well, it's the biggest game in the state, but it's the first game of the season. So what we do, how we perform in the second half, how we finish the game is going to set the tone for the entire season. So I'm just challenging the coaches and the seniors and the players as well. Hey, finish the game. Hey, still play 6-second snaps, play every snap, play hard, fight to the end, and let's see what happens in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, we've still got a whole nother half of a game to play, so this game isn't over.
Oh, no doubt it's not over. It's not over to the clock hit 4 zeros. We're excited. We're still going to be good, so let's finish the game. Let's come out and try to match this atmosphere, match the sideline.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck, Coach Nelson, to you and your players. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Coach Nelson has the idea, Corey. We got to match the excitement, match the intensity, and get back in the second half. Let's revisit your checklist for the ball game for both of these teams.
Yeah, you look at Vigor. Defensive dominance was the first item on Corey's checklist, and Vigor so far has dominated the scoreboard because Matty T. Blount has not scored this evening. Be balanced offensively. We just took a look at those stats, and you have Sammy Dunn, who really has gotten comfortable within the passing game, but you can look for the running game to be amped up here in the second half, and conditioning chemistry. We haven't seen a lot of cramps of players going down. We've probably seen more penalty flags than we have cramps or players with cramps, so that's something to keep an eye on in the second half. And for Blount, Matty T. Blount, everything that Coach just talked about, I definitely had on my checklist at the beginning of the game. Penalties and poise. The Matty T. Blount Leopards are going to have to come out with a lot of poise in the second half and scratch and claw to get back in this contest. Protecting the pigskin. The 2 turnovers have been huge because Vigor has been able to put points on the board and win the special teams battle. Field position is going to be critical because if Blount does go 3 and out, where they are in the field, you're going to have to get a great punt or establish great field position to go ahead and try to get and cut into this deficit that you have here going into the second half.
It has definitely been the Sammy Dunn show tonight. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break, and also bringing you the second half of the Battle of Pritchard. You're watching it on the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
Do you feel alone
overwhelmed, or helpless.
There's hope, there's hope. Call or text 988.
You don't have to face your crisis alone. If you need a safe space to talk with a trusted adult for support, reach out to your school counselor.
Do you need help to make it through everyday struggles?
Do you need someone to talk to? Call or text 988. Your social emotional wellness is worth it.
Remember, there's hope, there's help.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
I'm Keith Blackwood, your Mobile County District Attorney. I want to remind you about the truancy laws. 5 unexcused absences requires you to attend the early warning truancy program. Failure to attend the early warning truancy program can cause you to appear before a judge in circuit court. We need you to stay in school. This is a serious law, and it needs to be taken very seriously. I wish you and your family a safe, happy, and successful school year.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. It is the Battle of Pritchard. Vigors on top 19-0 and ready to receive the second half kickoff. They deferred to the second half. Back to receive Kevin Malone, Jamarian Osborne. Osborne is going to take it just inside of the 20. Breaks it up top near the numbers. He's got a blocker. Corey, he's on the way. 20, 15, 10, touchdown, Vigor!
Just like that, Vigor is able to answer on special teams. My checklist says win the special teams battle. Well, you can see Mr. Osborne. He just waits very, very patiently for his blockers to develop within the lanes, and he probably takes that one close to, I would say, 85 or 90 yards there for Mr. Osborne.
Trying to get the exact yardage on it. Malik Fremont on for the kick, the PAT.
And again, he turned on the afterburners, and he just had a convoy down the sidelines. The 6 foot, 185 pound senior shows the explosiveness and shows his speed. And just like that, the Wolfpack are able to score within 18 seconds.
Corey, I'm going to call it an 83-yard kickoff return for Jamarian Osborne. There is one injured Leopard on the field, as you talked about, on the 40-yard line near the Vigor sideline. And what I was about to allude to when Dunn was going to come out on the field, as I assumed, I was going to say so far it's been the Sammy Dunn show tonight, his debut. He's got a 20-yard touchdown pass to Jamarian Osborne, a 5-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Holcomb, and he has a 14-yard touchdown pass to Carlos Benjamin Jr. And just like that, Osborne shows him up and runs one to the house, 83 yards.
Yeah, that was done with a lot of ease there, and it's just great special teams play and blocking by the Wolfpack. And Blount, you know, you kind of pick your poison. You don't want to kick the football out of bounds.
Correct.
And when you put Toda Letter in this situation, you had Christopher Wiggins kicking this one off, but you love to see the man get up and walk it off, and that looks like it's going to be Ryan Williams.
Linebacker Ryan Williams for Blount. Great to see him get off the field on his own power.
I agree there. And you look at John McKenzie taking this Vigor team, winning the state championship in 2021, returning as head football coach as well, and he has a lot of new guys on his staff this year, and we'll be talking about who is on his coaching staff here as the second half unwinds and we wait for this extra point.
Fremont's PAT is up, and it is no good, but the score is 25-0. Let's take a look at the schedule for the Vigor Wolves this year. You talked about John McKenzie returning. This is his second stint here at Vigor. Next week, they have Tuscaloosa County at home. That'll be their season home opener. And then, Corey, they go right into region play at LaFleur. That's going to be a big one right there. September 13th, UMS Wright will head back to Pritchard. Last year, that was the ball game where supposedly Vigor played an ineligible player. They won that game, but they had to forfeit that win. Corey, they missed the playoffs by how many games? One game. That was the game that got them. So they might be looking for a little revenge that night. They'll be at Citronelle. They got the bye in the middle of the schedule, and then they're region tight the rest of the way. Alberta, Faith Academy, Williamson, Rain. I like this last one, Halloween night. Vigor's playing Baker. So for Vigor, outside of region play, they're playing 2 7A teams and a 6A team. Pretty tough schedule for the Wolves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I know Coach McKenzie embraces on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
And ending it with Baker, we saw Juan Johnson make his debut last night with the win for the Baker Hornets. So, you know, tonight for Vigor, it is their biggest opponent on their schedule from a rivalry standpoint, and they have a huge lead right now and are going to have a chance to play defense for the first time here this second half.
We'll get up the Blount schedule momentarily as they're ready to receive the kickoff, and just like that, one play in the second half, and we add 6 points to the total. Scores 25-0. Vigor on top. Fremont's kick is going to go out of bounds, so that'll be a procedure penalty against them. Let's take a look at the Blount schedule. Of course, Vigor tonight. Corey, it doesn't get any better next week. They have to go to the Land at Saraland, then Murphy. Ironically, we noticed they have 2 off weeks this year. In between, they have Gulf Shores, and then look at the back half. Spanish Fort at McGill, Baldwin County, at St. Paul's, at Theodore. We had a chance to ask Coach Nelson, well, why couldn't you get a 10th game? And he said, well, Al, you know, look at what we have. You know, does it make sense to even get a game because we have this emotional game tonight, and then we have Saraland and Murphy. So they're going to try to take that second bye week to their advantage. But if we can get the other graphic up right quick, Wade, we'll show you one of the reasons why. Blount has the second toughest schedule in 6A, Corey, but look at who else is in 6A. Murphy, McGill, Gulf Shore, Spanish Fort, St. Paul's. What does that tell you? 6A, the toughest region in the state of Alabama, hands down.
No question, we've always called it the SEC West, and you can see why in that situation. And I know that having the second toughest schedule in the entire 6A state of Alabama, you want to go ahead and say, look, my region is the toughest. I don't need additional games to get banged and beat up.
Yep.
So you win those that are on your schedule. You play those that are on your schedule. And, you know, Kamari White makes a nice tackle there for the Wolfpack. But again, Blount, Matty T. Blount is such a historic school, and had a chance to talk with Ben Harris and all of them, the domination of the 90s that they had. It's just a very special tradition and program. And, you know, Coach Nelson said a year ago he wanted to, you know, rebuild the brand rebranding it. He's done a great job of doing that, as evident of the guys that go to battle for him. But that schedule does no favors for anyone.
It does not any favors at all. And people even wonder, how can Baldwin County have a tougher schedule than Blount? They play in the same region. Well, here's a reason why. Baldwin County plays Foley and Mary Montgomery, 2 7A schools score. So that makes them have the toughest schedule in the entire state for 6A. So as we always talk about, 6A Region 1, clearly the toughest region in the state of Alabama. Up the middle goes Williams. Dives ahead to get some of that penalty yardage back close to the original line of scrimmage. He'll be short a yard or two. It's going to be 3rd and long coming up here for the Leopards.
Yeah, you look at the down and distance, and a great job of defensive coordinator Michael Perry here. Vigor gave up 13.9 points per game 1 year ago, and have a lot of guys that are returning on this vaunted Vigor defense. And tonight so far pitching the shutout, I know Michael Perry wants to encourage his team to continue to play hard and don't get caught looking at the scoreboard to give up that huge play. And third and long now for the Leopards.
We'll call it 3rd and 13 here for Blount. Wiggins still in the ball game looking to pass. Pressure is on him as he is going to be sacked and brought down by Vigor.
Amari Lofton, 6'4", 240-pound senior, and there will be a dead ball personal foul on the play, a little probably late hit that will be tacked on here. And it's what happens at rivalry games. A little chippiness gets involved, and we'll see exactly what happens here as Ron Coleman will discuss it with his crew and assess the penalty there for certain. Like I said, a little dead ball there for sure.
As you call it, Corey, a little extracurricular after the play.
Dead ball after the play, personal foul against the blue team.
Unfortunately, it goes against Blount, which does not help their situation at all. It's going to push them further back. So it's going to bring up 3rd and really long here coming up for the Leopards.
Yeah, I know that you're already playing behind the sticks, and you have to decide whether you want to go ahead and accept the yardage on that penalty and exactly how they want to go ahead and mark it off and assess it. And now you're definitely dealing with a long down and distance for your quarterback, and not the type of quarterback situations you want to put young Chris Wiggins in or a first-year starter for the Leopards in. It is right now 4th down and probably close to 35 to 40 yards to go.
As we like to say, Corey, it's 4th and a country mile as they punt it. Shanks it off of the foot. Not what you want in this situation. Vigor is going to take advantage of this, have great field position at the Blount 32-yard line. And this is something that played out early in the first quarter for Vigor as well, taking advantage of miscues that Blount had and getting great field position, primarily off turnovers, but also off of 3 and outs as well.
The plus side of the field is where Vigor has been able to take advantage of it here. Now, Sammy Dunn, he's going to take over here, and we'll see if he decides to go vertical once again or whether he decides to get his offensive running game involved.
Trip receivers to the top. Garrett Holcomb lined up to the bottom by himself. Carlos Benjamin Jr., the Mercer University commit, picks up about 5 or 6 on the play to take Vigor to 2nd down.
Great job of the offensive line getting that push. And once again, I mentioned in the first half how long Matty T. Blount's defense was on the field. We'll see if Vigor decides to give a heavy dose of the running game to the Leopards.
Once again, Benjamin on the carry. Going to take a loss of about 1 yard or 2 on that one. It'll be 3rd down coming up here for the Wolfpack as they're trying to take advantage of this great field position. We've seen 2 attempted field goals tonight by Malik Fremont, both no good. I think they may be a bit out of his range right now, Corey. Let's see what Coach John McKenzie is going to dial up in the playbook. Ball's on the 29-yard line.
Benjamin, he kind of went off the field gingerly on that play, something to keep an eye on with this lead here as to whether he returns or not and how and what type of explosiveness he does have.
They hand it off to Demetrius Johnson, keeps it on the ground. Boy, the line clears it out for Vigor right there. And that's definitely going to be a flag. We don't need the WWE action tonight, Corey. That'll get you 15 every time.
I don't think he even realizes that it is a penalty flag.
Cannot do that.
He knows that he was able to make the tackle, that being Lazarick Johnson. And anytime you upend the ball carrier or the wide receiver, it is going to be a personal foul.
Unnecessary roughness against defense, have to do to the goal, 1st down.
Yeah, 9-vote got a bit too energized on that one, Corey.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a legal wrestling move, but here on the gridiron, you can't pick them up no matter how much weight you can lift in the weight room. You just have to go ahead and get the ball carrier to the ground without lifting them up and taking them airborne.
So from the 32, Vigor has moved to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal from the 7. Pro-style set here coming up. They hand it off to Johnson up the middle. He goes right through the A-gap, stretches out. I believe his knee is going to be down right at the 1-foot line. But no, they're going to say he broke the plane.
Yeah, I think that's a
There's
touchdown.
the signal.
7-yard touchdown run. And Demetrius Johnson, he had 3 rushing touchdowns a year ago, and he's going to go ahead and put 6 more on the board. The 5'6", 165-pound sophomore has 5 rushes, 30 yards, 1 touchdown on the contest.
Fremont on for the extra point. Vigor up 31-0 right now. All in control, and Coach Nelson did say something to Kimberly Dunn in his interview. I was right. They were, it was a shutout at halftime last year in this ball game into the 4th quarter before Blount got on the board. So, no, they want to get some points. Legal procedure against Vigor. That's going to push him back. And we'll have a retry on the PAT.
And now one of the things that I'm keeping an eye on is the health of Carlos Benjamin on that far sidelines. I know the trainers are attending to him now with his shoulder pads off. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes ahead. He'll finish tonight 9 carries for 29 yards.
Speaking of injuries, Corey, last year at this exact ball game, left tackle Michael Debose, who is now at Theodore, suffered a slight injury in the 2nd quarter. He didn't return in the 2nd half, and as it turned out, Vigor didn't need his assistance as they got the win last year as well. So kind of ironic, Benjamin goes out right now. And ironic, we had this happen earlier tonight. A penalty against Blount gives the yardage back to Malik Fremont to try the PAT again.
Yeah, once again,
I
Fremont.
love these mulligans.
Hey, Fremont has been busy tonight, whether it's kicking field goals or extra points. And we'll see if he's able to make his first extra point, Al.
He gets it up, and it is good. 32-0 is our score as Vigor is all in control. Pull out your smartphones, pull out your calendars. It is time to mark your calendars, parents. Coming up, September 2nd, Labor Day, all MCPSS schools and offices will be closed September 2nd for Labor Day. Make sure you mark your calendar. But wait, there is more. September 16th, it is Professional Development Day. No classes for students. Teachers and administrators will be on campus September 16th, but no classes for students. But wait, Corey, it gets even better. Headed your way, September 30th is a virtual distance learning day. So September, a busy day, parents. Mark your calendars for these dates. September 30th, virtual distance learning. We'll keep you informed as they grow near each week during our broadcast for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty on the sidelines. Kimberly Dunn, our statistician. China Powell hanging out with us here at the Lad People's Sports Entertainment Complex for the Battle of Pritchard. Don't I need a semicolon, a colon, or what do I need in there, John? Something kind of punctuation mark or something in there. Kickoff from Vigor, taken by one of the up guys as they get it past the 30-yard line, up close to the 35.
And if you are Maddie T. Blount, what you want to make sure here is that was Aaron Vassell on the return. You want to, again, make sure that you're just able to establish a first down. And we saw the opening kickoff of the 2nd half be taken to the house. And since then, we've seen Maddie T. Blount's defense now having an opportunity to really kind of get a true workout in conditioning here, because now the offense, they have to do you some favors here by moving the chains and moving the sticks.
Blount's second possession of the 2nd half. They go to the ground game to Jerome Williams. He falls down near the line of scrimmage. I'm going to call it no gain here. It'll be 2nd down and 10 once again.
Chicken Guerra and Kingston Bush in on the stop. And with no gain on the play, it is 2nd and 10. And, you know, it's been a night for Chris Wiggins just to learn, to look at the film and to be able to get better against a Saraland team that is going to be coming ranked number 1 in the state of Alabama in 6A after that win over number 1 ranked Jackson. And Wiggins continued to scramble and just run out of bounds. That's what he needed to do in the first half, is to run out of bounds or throw the ball away. And you continue to see the learning curve for him out there against this great Vigor defense.
3rd down and long coming up here for the Leopards. They're going to say no gain on the run right there. by Wiggins. He ran a long way to not pick up anything. Ball's at the 29-yard line. The line to gain is the 34. Sorry, the 44. Hauls off and throws it. Has a guy overthrows him, incomplete. He was trying to connect with Dream Thomas. It'll bring up 4th down here for Matty T. Blount.
Well, it's another punting situation for the Leopards, and special teams here. The worst thing that can happen to Matty T. Blount is for there to be some type of huge return, which sets up a short field for Sammy Dunn and this Vigor Wolfpack offense. And we'll see here how the return game goes and how far this punt does go for the Leopards.
Garrett Holcomb and Jamarion Osborne back to receive this punt. Ella Kima puts it almost a line drive. And Osborne, the turf monster, kind of got him, Corey. He tried to reach out to it and could not. Did he touch it? It appears as if the officials are signaling it could be Blount's football.
No, I didn't see him touch it. I know that
I thought
he
got away
misjudged
from
the
it.
football, but if he did touch it, it was as he was falling down, taking a bad angle on that situation. So I'm looking out on the field to see if Vigor's defense is coming out or whether their offense is coming out on the field. And it does look as if the Leopards offense is coming back out onto the field.
Maybe some kind of way. Let's take a look and see if we get. It's a great angle right here from the end zone if he touched that ball.
It hit his helmet.
It bounced off of his helmet. Unfortunate ricochet for the young man. Across the middle, Wiggins pass incomplete. Blount calling for the flag, and they do get the flag right there. Going to have some PI coming up.
That's the type of break that you need, though, if you're Matty T. Blount, because you have a punt that takes a funny hop and hits him in his helmet, and now you take your quick shot if you're offensive coordinator Kendrick Nord with your quarterback Chris Wiggins, and you'll get 15 more yards. And this is the deepest that the Leopards have been in Wolfpack territory.
And Corey, how ironic, the last time Osborne touched the ball, he ran it 83 yards for a touchdown. And this time he's trying to stay away from it, and the ball is like a magnet, goes right, bounce off his helmet. How unfortunate, the young man.
Yeah, and what is going to be fortunate for the Leopards here is if they're able to go ahead, they're already in the red zone area, but put some points on this board in this great rivalry that we're watching tonight.
This is what Coach Nelson was talking about. The game's not over until the clocks read 0. Up the middle goes Jerome Williams. And look at the determination of the young man as he gets up to about the 1 foot line. Blount calling for the score. No signal from the official, so they're going to put him down right near the goal line.
And we've been waiting for the Leopards to catch a break, and this is the break that they need now that they're knocking on the goal line here. Points off turnovers would be huge, and I think we're going to go ahead and take our official heat timeout here in the third quarter.
It is 5:50, our heat timeout. We'll get ready to take it down to the sideline. Check in once again with Kimberly Dunn.
I'm here with the Director of Officials for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Mr. Ken Washington. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, Kimberly. How are you?
We're doing great. We're so glad that you were able to join us tonight. So high school sports plays a crucial role in student development. How does the AHSAA ensure that athletics contributes positively to the overall student?
Well, education-based athletic is what we do, and we want to make sure not only in the classroom, but we want to display that out here on the football field as well.
Absolutely. And player safety is also a priority. We've been very fortunate to not see any major injuries tonight, but what steps has the AHSAA taken to enhance the safety of your student athletes?
Well, we just want to educate our coaches, our fans, and as well as our officials, and make sure we enforce those rules for player safety. Yeah.
And some of those safety precautions are, like we're taking right now, our heat timeouts. And how has that enhanced, especially here in the South, the safety of those student athletes?
Yeah, in the South, as both of us know, it can get really hot down here. So we want to make sure our athletes stay hydrated and give them an opportunity to rehydrate throughout the game. And we're going to do this for about 3 more weeks. And then officials can take the heat time out as they feel needed.
And officiating is a vital part of maintaining fair play in high school sports. So how can individuals sign up to become officiants themselves?
Absolutely. They could just send me an email at kwashington@ahsaa.com, and I'll respond back to them, and we'll get them started.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us. We hope that you're enjoying our game here at the Battle of Pritchard.
All right. Thank you so much.
Great job, Kimberly Core. I told you we had some top-notch guests in the house tonight.
Absolutely.
Man.
Anytime you have the director of officials for AHSAA, we welcome Ken Washington to the Battle of Pritchard.
Previous play, Lazarick Johnson came in with the run, and Vigor shut it down, and Chris Wiggins is shut down on that play right there as well. He's going to actually have to come out. He lost his helmet, Corey. He'll have to come out for one play. So we'll see who will get the quarterback nod right here at 3rd and goal for Blount.
Kentonio Kelly, we mentioned the 3A lineman of the year, comes in and has a tackle for loss and a quarterback sack. And you go from being on the 1-yard line, knocking on the doorstep, to putting it in reverse to the 11-yard line. And Kentonio Kelly, he's just a young man who had over 200 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 5 interceptions. He was a first-team All-State performer, as evident of winning the 3A lineman of the year, but not going the direction that you want to, for sure, for the Leopards.
Blount going to take time out right here and discuss things. Right now, we're going to put the spotlight on our MCPSS student spotlight. A particular young fellow right here, we're going to get him up and share his information with you of the great things that he's doing. His name is Ethan Gwynn. He attends Baker High School. He is a senior with a grade point average of 4.7. Plans on attending Princeton or Howard University. Planning to major in public policy and minor in Africana studies. 10 years from now, they asked Ethan, where do you see yourself? He says, I see myself working in policy, making these decisions on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Corey, these are the type of young folks we need moving toward the future, making great decisions and heading in a great direction for us here. Our MCPSS student spotlight, Ethan Gwynn at Baker High School.
Absolutely great student ambassadors coming out of the Mobile County Public School system, not only on the football field and on the playing fields, on the courts, but in the classrooms as well.
3rd and goal for Blount, and that pass is complete. That is a touchdown to T.J. Miller, thrown by Naheem Thomas, who comes over from wide receiver and picks up the score. 11-yard touchdown pass.
Catching a break. You look at Miller, the 5'9", 140-pound senior, just really on a fade route. He's able to come back to the football and able to make a great catch. And we see Naheem the Dream Thomas come off of the bench and make an immediate impact on 3rd down and long there for the Leopards. And they do avoid the huge goose egg on the board and are going to go ahead and go for 2.
Wiggins back in the ball game. Pressure on him. The try is no good, so it fails. 32-6 is our score. Blount avoids the shutout, but we still have more action headed your way. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching the Battle of Pritchard.
I'm Keith Blackwood, your Mobile County District Attorney. I want to remind you about the truancy laws. 5 unexcused absences requires you to attend the early warning truancy program. Failure to attend the early warning truancy program can cause you to appear before a judge in circuit court. We need you to stay in school. This is a serious law, and it needs to be taken very seriously. I wish you and your family a safe, happy, and successful school year.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Join Homeroom with Renee Phillips and find out the latest homework tips and what's happening inside the schools and classrooms. It's Homeroom with Renee Phillips right here on the MCPSS TV network. We appreciate you tuning in tonight and joining us. Al Weed and Corley Bounty down on the sidelines. We have Kimberly Dunn. Vigor in control, 32-6. Corey, I got to shout out my buddy Terrence Vaughn watching us up there in Montgomery. He's the middle school coach at Brubaker. They were supposed to play Chastain this past week, but that game didn't work out. They came down and played Gulf Shores. Won 34-18. Middle school ball, Corey.
Well, I tell you, we go from middle school to Coach John McKenzie. We tell you he is the head coach at Vigor now, having won that state championship. Want to make sure that we shout out to his mom, Miss Retha McKenzie, who's in South Carolina. We know she's tuned in the broadcast, along with Carla Mormon in Miami, Larry McKenzie, his brother in Minnesota, and Venus and Jazz, Mr. McKenzie's daughter and wife, along with Ronnie and Paula Crawford. All of the McKenzie clan are happy with what they are seeing tonight out of the Wolfpack.
Jamarion Osborne with the return inside of the 40. Going to step out of bounds near the 45. I think he told us the wife and daughter might be here tonight watching it live, Corey, hanging out with us. So they get to check out the action in person here, the Battle of Pritchard. Great crowd tonight here in Mobile. Beautiful night for high school football. I am so glad we have not been under heat advisory the past couple days, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, it's about as cool as it's been. And, you know, kudos to all the band members and football players and coaches who have had to endure heat indexes of 115 to 118 degrees to practice to get ready for this opener here in week 0 of high school football. And what a great job we've seen the bands and the football players do tonight.
Empty set here for Vigor, 1st and 10. Let's see what John McKenzie has dialed up. Dunn has all the time in the world, gets it to Carlos Benjamin Jr. So, Corey, he does check back into the ball game, picks up the 1st down at the 35. Scoring drive right there from Blount, 11-yard touchdown reception to T.J. Miller. Took him 5 plays, 2 minutes and 17 seconds on that scoring drive. But, Corey, that play is coming back because there's a dirty yellow rag on the field.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that you never would like to see after a positive play for the Wolfpack, but that's exactly what we do see. And it's basically a crackback
block against Vigor.
5, 10, 15 yards is what it'll cost you, so it'll be 1st and 25 yards to go now for the Wolfpack. And what you want to do is, if you're Sammy Dunn, you're in a situation to where you don't have to get all this yardage back unless you see that one-on-one matchup that you love. You can go ahead. Coach McKenzie's called a great game in regards to his perimeter passes and going vertical when he needs to, but Blount has help over the top.
Flashes it out to Carlos Benjamin Jr. He just goes out of bounds right at the 29-30. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and long once again for Vigor.
Take what the defense gives you.
And
Sammy Dunn, he did see that there was help over the top and just checked down to his back. Benjamin coming out of the backfield, and you just keep an eye on Benjamin's shoulder, as that's what the trainers were working on. So anytime he is going to the ground, we'll see how he does react. But now you're at a 2nd and long for the Wolfpack, and there's going to be another whistle on the play. We'll see what we have here. Is it?
We have a Blount player down.
Timeout?
No, injury timeout. Blount player down on the field. Looks like possibly an ankle. We'll take a break right here and put up some information about new reclassifications. We know every 2 years they reclassify in the state of Alabama. So here are some of the changes you can look at. There's the former 5A Region 1 classification. We know Gulf Shores, they won the 5A championship last year. They're now in 6A, Corey. So they leave 5A, and inside of 6A, you have Citronelle, Alberta, Faith Academy, the Flora Rain, UMS Wright, Vigor, and Williamson. We'll take it up to 6A, as we just said. Gulf Shores is going to join 6A, but you notice now Robertsdale is out of 6A as they go into 7A. They were part of 7A last year in 2023. Right here, Corley Bounty, the toughest region in the state of Alabama.
Yeah,
hands down.
It's easy when we brought up that graphic earlier, but you look at Saraland having made it to the state championship 2 games in a row, and you have your past champions in Spanish Fort being there, along with the success of Gulf Shores moving up a classification now, and you have always Ham Barnett does a great job at St. Paul's, and Theodore with Steve Mask. He is trying to get things turned around for the Bobcats next week. But, I mean, Coach Hanna at Murphy, he played lights out last night against Davidson.
Sure did.
To me, the toughest region in the entire state is 6A.
Take it up to 7A here, and as you can see right there, Robertsdale joins 7A. So now this moves back and becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-team region. It was a little different last year, 7A being a 7-team region. Now it's back as an 8-team region, as Robertsdale has now joined the big boys in 7A Region 1. So that's a look at reclassification throughout the state of Alabama, affecting our schools right here on the Gulf Coast.
I'll give props to Robertsdale. Robertsdale ends a losing streak last night, and that's huge for that program and Coach Bell and what he's been able to accomplish there. Anytime you're able to stop a losing streak of some 24 games, you have to give the props there, especially with Robertsdale moving up in classification with the new coach. 2nd and long now for Sammy Dunn, Al.
Flags come out. Dunn has time. Blount collapses down on him to sack him. Now let's see what the flags are going to be here.
Braxton Thompson with the hit on the quarterback, and it's normally in the area of holding, whereas Dunn was pumping and waiting.
Yep.
That's normally what you have.
3rd down.
No need to take the penalty right there. So it'll be third and long coming up here for Vigor. Pretty much offense kind of stalling for the Wolves after getting that great 83-yard kickoff return from Jamarion Osborne.
Yeah, great job by Braxton Thompson on that last play, but now you're looking at a 3rd down and close to 25 yards to go, and just don't turn the football over here if you're Sammy Dunn. You've done a good job of protecting it. Continue to do so.
They keep it on the ground, give it to Carlos Benjamin Jr. Look at the hole up the middle. The guy's instant offense. He picks up a great run right there, about 1.5 yards short of getting the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and maybe 2 coming up for Vigor.
The great thing about Carlos Benjamin, once he gets into open space, he's so explosive. And look at his change of direction, making the defender miss. Gains an additional 4 yards after the contact. 4th and a long 2 here. We'll see if the offensive line can get the push they need without committing a penalty.
Ball on the 47-yard line of Blount. Empty set for Sammy Dunn. They're going to throw it wide open. They connect, and that's going to be a 1st down for Vigor. Kevin Brisker, he played quarterback last year for Vigor. His first completion tonight.
Brisker had 5 receptions a year ago, gets his first reception here in 2024. The 6-foot, 170-pound senior contributing, and Vigor coming off of a 3rd and long. They're able to convert, and now defense for Matty T. Blount continues to stay on the field for even longer.
1st and 10 from the 34 of Blount. Pass across the middle, incomplete. It'll take Vigor to 2nd down. And coming up, we're going to take you to the game of the week brain buster question. Oh, yeah, we hadn't forgot about it, Corley Bounty. Your first quiz of the year, just around the corner.
Like you said earlier, Al Whedon, as long as it's a multiple choice quiz, I'm okay with, because now I have a 25% chance of getting it right.
I know that's your favorite, buddy. So it'll be headed your way in about 93 seconds coming up here. So keep it with us. 2nd down and 10 for the Vigor Wolves.
A lot of cushion being given on the bottom part of the screen, top man-to-man.
Sammy Dunn completes it. Back-to-back catches for Kevin Brisker right there.
Yeah, I mean, they're finding a matchup that they like, and Brisker has done his job in catching the football, and it is going to give a fresh set of downs to Sammy Dunn. And what you're looking at now is the ball right on the 23-yard line of the Leopards, and the clock continues to tick here in the third quarter.
1st and 10 at the 23 of Blount. One back to the left of Dunn. Demetrius Johnson. They hand off to Johnson. Up the middle he goes. He is tackled by Chase Howard, the Louisiana Lafayette commit. Win. He's Special Agent 0 tonight, Corey.
Yeah, I love Chase Howard.
Great kid.
He is an outstanding young man. He is a member of the Kappa League, 6'2", 235-pound senior. The Raging Cajuns are not only getting a great academic student, they're getting a very athletic student as well. And they're looking at his opponent defensively is maybe joining them, as Kevin Malone is a Lafayette Raging Cajun verbal commit as well.
Hand off to Carlos Benjamin Jr. He is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down coming up here for Vigor as they're trying to get more points on the board as we creep toward the end of the 3rd quarter, and I believe that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. 8 seconds remain, but 33 seconds on the play clock. So Coach John McKenzie and KJ May, they don't have to call another play right here. They'll let the clock hit 0 in the 3rd quarter. And Corey, you know what that means. It's time for our first game of the week, Brain Busting. I know you've been waiting all year for this one.
Cannot wait to see if I can go ahead and get this multiple choice.
Time for your quiz. All right, Corey. Blount is coming off its 3rd losing season in a row under their 3rd different head coach. Who was the last coach at Blount to have 3 consecutive losing seasons? Santee Gamble, Ben Harris, Wendell Washington, or Kevin Sigler? Corey, your favorite, multiple choice. You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it correct.
Wow. Okay, I have an answer for you.
You got some names in there. You got some names in there, Corey.
I have an answer.
We'll let you ponder that and come back later on to give you the answer to our game of the week, Brain Buster. Nice shot of the crowd right there. And up top, you see some lights and the windows open. Corey, that's us.
Yeah.
Up there with the little bitty folks. There's my hand going out the window right there. That's up at the top. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's got an injury update for us. Maybe having an audio issue with Kimberly's mic, so we'll check back in with her, see if we can get that injury update. We'll get back to the field of play. 3rd down coming up here for Vigor. They hand it off to the up guy, and he is tackled. That's Kingston Bush. Gonna push him back. Matter of fact, he's gonna take a loss on the play, Cora.
Yeah, I mean, great defense by the Matty T. Blount Leopards. Braxton Thompson, the 5'11", 165-pound senior, has been very active tonight from his linebacker position, and that's what you would love to see there. And now you're looking at a situation now, 4th down and close to 2 yards to go. So
about 2 or 3
we'll see
coming up
here if the Wolfpack are able to convert as Dunn goes under center tonight.
They toss it out to Carlos Benjamin. He's going to get the 1st down, hit the corner, trying to hit the pylon. Let's see if they give it to him. What does the official say? He's going to be out at the 1-yard line. Corey, when I talk about instant offense and jet-like speed, Carlos Benjamin Jr. definitely possesses that.
Oh, I mean, as soon as he turns the corner, that's all. Just a little sliver of daylight is all he needs. And I love the way he's able to try to stretch out and score. And we'll see if Coach McKenzie rewards him to see if now he can get his 13th carry of the contest.
Ball's at the 1-yard line. They try to reward Carlos Benjamin Jr. Look at him fight. He's inching toward it. I think he got maybe to the 1 foot line on that one, Corey.
He did, and once again, we'll see if Coach says, look, I'll feed you one more time, Green Pants, to see if you can get green to red, meaning in the red zone and having a touchdown as well. So we'll see if Green Pants can get in the green grass area of the end zone.
DeAndre Chambers lined up in front of him in the power out formation as Sammy Dunn is going to take it into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the night. His first one on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, 3 passing, 1 rushing, needed that 1 yard, got the big push from his center, Tykerius Tucker, 6'3", 300-pound senior, along with Gabrielle Brown, the right guard, 6 foot, 250-pound sophomore, showing a lot of love there. And I love the fact Nicholas Poe is in there too, the right tackle, 6'1", 295-pound senior, making plenty of room, the 1 yard needed for Mr. Dunn.
Let's see if Vigor's going to go for 2 here, Corey. They're lined up in the huddle.
Now, a year ago, Vigor's offense averaged 27.7 points per game.
So they are going for 2 here. And hand off to Carlos Benjamin Jr. So the try no good. Our score 38-6. All right, Corey, let's get the question back up here. So it's time to reveal the answer. You said it pretty confidently. Al, I think I have an answer. I think I have an answer, Al. Well, Ms. Diana, get the question up for us. All right, Corey. Blount is coming off his 3rd losing season in a row under their 3rd different head coach. Who was the last coach at Blount to have 3 consecutive losing seasons? A, Santee Gamble, B, Ben Harris, C, Wendell Washington, or D, Kevin Sigler?
I'm going to go with the answer that a lot of people would think of here in this situation. I'm going to go with Ben Harris.
Going to go with B, Ben Harris.
Ben Harris.
Is that your final answer, Corey?
That's going to be my final answer. Right.
Let's reveal the answer and let's see what it is. And Corey LeBounty, you are correct. Surprising to some, Coach Ben Harris had 3 losing seasons in a row right in front of you. 2004, 2005, and 2006. Some may forget he had 2 stints at Blount. The second stint wasn't as favorable as the first stint. Had a few more losing seasons during that time.
109 and 22. That was the record of Ben Harris in the 90s.
And a lot of those were on the backside. You know.
Exactly.
Right.
109 and 22 state champs in 90, 92, 96, 97, 98. So a historic tradition coming from the Matty T. Blount Leopards, and good friend. I'm glad that I can call him a great friend, as a matter of fact. Ben Harris always has nothing but positive things to say to every person he meets. He means so much, not only to the Pritchard community. I know Willie Anderson, Stu Mead, who's here tonight, he has nothing but positive things, and how Coach Harris influenced his life, and how many people that have been part of this rivalry, whether it's in the 90s or 2000s, have been influenced by the legendary Hall of Fame coach Ben Harris.
Well, Corey, you didn't get tripped up. You didn't slip. I know you like C, because C is for Corey.
Right? That's normally what I go with.
You picked the right answer. So we didn't trip you. So good job on your first quiz, Corey.
We'll take that one.
Game of the week, brain buster right there. Wiggins back to throw, has time, going over the top. A bit far past the outstretched hands of Dream Thomas, who has a touchdown pass thrown tonight himself. Be second down coming up for Blount.
Yeah, great job by the defense of Vigor, knowing that, look, even though we are leading on the scoreboard and it says 38-6 at this point in time, we still don't want to get and fall asleep and let this Leopard offense strike. And, you know, Chris Wiggins, he has his eyes down the field, and he was looking for his wide receiver. We'll see here the continued ground and pound, too.
Continue to do that.
Of the Leopards offense. And you have now a 3rd, and we'll call it probably close to 8 yards to go, Al, for the Leopards. And, you know, going 4 and out right here is tough because of the explosiveness that we've seen of this Vigor offense. And, you know, your defense has been on the field here 9 minutes remaining with Vigor leading 38-6 in this battle of Pritchard. You have to have a stop here if you're Vigor to continue to run up the score.
Ball on the 34-yard line. Big play right here for the Leopards. You're definitely praying for pride. You want to get some more points on the board. Wiggins has time. He does connect. Pass is complete to Darius Brown, but a flag is on the play. Another penalty marker. Something that can happen, and if you want to call it week 0, week 1 action for these high schoolers. A lot of flags, a lot of holding. Now, the one call I haven't heard too many times tonight, Corey, that we had a lot last year, ineligible receiver downfield. Not too many of those tonight, but we had a ton of them last season.
We did, and it's kind of to be expected by both teams. We mentioned for Matty T. Blount on my checklist, Blount had to have penalties that were limited and have a lot of poise.
You said that.
So, I mean, the penalties and poise for Matty T. Blount, I know it's going to be something that they want to clean up, and they're going to have to clean up playing Saraland, the #1 ranked team in the entire state of Alabama in 6A next week. Now you're looking in at a 3rd and very long to go for the Leopards.
One back to the left. They give it to Lazarick Johnson, 9-vote, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. I believe my producer was telling me 17 penalties for both teams. Oops, scratch that. Here you go, China. 18 total penalties for both teams. She got to pull out an abacus in a second here, Corey. Man.
And that's just, I mean, it's an unfortunate circumstance of what we see.
That's a 15-yarder against Vigor. Sideline interference. Wow.
Well, we have seen.
That pulls Blount out the hole right there for you.
We saw a year ago Jimbo Fisher on the sidelines for Texas A&M almost make a tackle.
That's true.
Well, now you're seeing the kind of same situation for Vigor is, you know, you have that white paint. You want your coaches that are behind the white paint and your players behind the white paint. And one of the sideline officials ran into one of the coaches that was in the white area where the officials are, and that's an automatic 15-yard penalty.
First down to 10 coming up for Blount. That's going to be a fumble. Let's see who recovered it.
Leopards leaped
I think Blount got back on top of it. Of course, speaking of the sideline warning, first time I'd ever seen it. Don't forget last year at MGM, our good buddy Richard Beatty, the only time I've ever seen a sideline warning issued against a cameraman.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That did happen. That did.
It happened last year. I had to see him. So.
And you see the Leopards pounce back on top of that pigskin, and you know you don't want to turn the ball over in your own territory here. If worst case scenario, 2nd 11, you have to punt the football away.
Bobble snap right there to Wiggins. We talked about these teams being some of the winningest public schools in the area. Vigor in the past 10 seasons, they have a record of 77-39, 13-7 in the playoffs. They have 8 playoff appearances, and they won the Class 4A title back in 2021. Corey, those 2 years they missed, the past 2 years for Vigor.
First man gets a defense, 15-yard penalty.
So this is another penalty going against the Wolves. And for Blount, they are the 3rd winningest public school here in the county. Their program has a record of 62-49 and 5-6 in the playoff with 6 playoff appearances. So you're looking at 2 top-notch programs, Corey, over the past decade here for the Mobile County Public School System.
Yeah, I mean, 2 premier programs, and you look back at a couple of decades ago, as we were mentioning, the Ben Harris era, when you had 2 schools before Matty T. Blount was relocated off of Lott Road.
Right.
You're just separated basically in less than 5 miles apart. And because of the closeness of the families, you mentioned we had brothers and cousins and uncles and just battling one another within, whether you went to Blount or whether you went to Vigor. It was a family rivalry, a family affair. Houses were divided. And the same thing this evening with the tailgating that you love to see.
Right.
And the bragging rights of both of these alumni associations. It does look like, though, Vigor will be able to hold on to bragging rights one more year.
38-6 is our score so far. Vigor in complete control. And we're now going to have a timeout called by Maddie T. Blount. Ball game is almost turned into a flag fest, so we'll take a break, come back, bring you more action. You're watching the Battle of Pritchard for our MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's Paparazzi.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Weed and Coralie Bounty on the sidelines. We have Kimberly Dunn giving you the action tonight for the Battle of Pritchard. Vigor all in control, 38-6. So far, Coralie Bounty, if I'm correct, the Wolves have scored in each quarter, I believe, of the ball game tonight.
And what it does do, that passing situation,
do
is
they
going to bring
it
up second and
complete?
15.
No, they're going to.
Incomplete.
They're going to. No.
I don't.
Well,
there's no way he caught that football.
The official is at the 39 now.
No way.
I didn't think it was a catch.
No way there was a catch.
Now they're walking it back. Okay, finally. Because it was like a bang-bang play pretty much. So he never made a football move. We'll take a look at the replay, but I'm with you, Corey. I didn't believe it was a catch myself.
Heat timeout is what we're about to have here with 5:35 remaining in the fourth quarter of action. And as John Bella was looking at the history, the historical website that is done for the state of Alabama, this is the most points that has been given up in this rivalry since 1999. So once again, Vigor trying to go ahead and punch some more points on the board before we finish up play.
We'll take another break and be back with more action. Don't move.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
I'm Tracy Tran, and I'm in the Healthcare and Dental Academy at Theodore High School. In the Dental Academy, I'm working alongside dental professionals getting hands-on training from those already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job makes me want to work even harder because now I know what I want to be.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. To find out more, visit MCPSS.com.
We are back to action here. The fourth quarter, 5:15 remaining in the ball game. That play run by Blount gets forward a couple of yards, but we have an injured player after the play. Try to see if we can get a number. Looks like one of the offensive linemen there, Corey. Just as we came out that break, Blount had ran the play. I don't know if we can get the replay back up. And there's a look at some of the hardware that's going to be given out tonight. The big one right there, the Battle of Pritchard Trophy. And I believe these may be some special individual awards given out. Outstanding players to that magnitude. But a good shot of the trophy, what they're playing for. And Vigor trying to make it 5 in a row, Corey. It looks like they're going to do it. The last time they won 5 in a row, it was the culmination of a 14-year winning streak for Vigor that ran from 1999 to 2012. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. And once again, you know, if you are a senior here at Maddie T. Blount, you've never had that feeling or that experience of defeating your rival and your biggest rival at that. And that is what hurts the most anytime you do have a rivalry game.
Right.
Anytime you lose that many consecutive games to your rivalry, that is tough.
Bailey James down on the turf. We'll take a timeout and be right back with more action for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Pass incomplete right there for Blount. It's going to take them to 4th down. And under 5 minutes here remaining in the ball game, Corey.
Al, you look at the time remaining in this contest, 4:45 in the 4th quarter. Vigor has really led from start to finish and left no doubt that they are definitely a contender under the Coach McKenzie era 2.0, having a chance. You look at the job that Coach McKenzie has done in such a short period of time, re-getting to know not only his team but the community. Blount, Matty T decided to go for it here on 4th down, nothing to lose, and just not enough yards going to be gained, and it'll be a turnover on downs to where Coach McKenzie and his offense take back over.
Something we talked about on our radio interview we did Friday on your show. I got a feeling from Coach McKenzie and some of the Vigor players at Mobile County Media Days, they kind of have unfinished business, Corey. If you think back on it, they won a championship in 2021. The seniors on this team were like in the 9th grade. Some of them could have been 8th graders, depending on the situation. So he's quite familiar with the more experienced players of the team. He talked about it at halftime with Kimberly. They getting back used to me. Coach McKenzie coached up in Tuscaloosa a year, coached at Murphy for a year since he left Vigor. But he pretty much knows the majority of these kids, if you want to say that. So I kind of got a feeling at Mobile County Media Days, it's unfinished business for Coach McKenzie and the Vigor Wolves. Missing the playoffs 2 years, that's something that just don't happen, for Vigor.
Well, here it is. You have backup quarterback in the game going deep for the Wolfpack, throwing an incomplete pass, but there is dirty laundry on the field as the Wolfpack now have given the night off for Sammy Dunn and get an opportunity for Kevin Brisker to come back in. And Dunn on the night, 11 out of 14, 122 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 6 rushes for 19 yards with that 1 touchdown.
Great night for the young man. Offsetting penalties right there, so Brisker will get an opportunity. Of course, we had a couple games last year where Brisker was the starting quarterback for Vigor. There's a shot of Coach John McKenzie right there. Young man has been coaching for a long time and doing things. We talked about he won the championship back in 2021. Coached Paul Bryant last year to a 3-7 record. Previously coached at Vigor in 2020 and 2021. His overall record is 24-20, so he has a .545 career winning percentage. But Corey, he's got the jewelry on the hand, got that title back in 2021.
And I'll tell you, Vigor just continues to run hard as Demetrius Johnson, the 5'6", 165-pound sophomore, gets across midfield as the clock continues to tick, and Matty T. Blount just has to kind of bow up on defense and keep the Wolfpack off of the scoreboard here as a matter of pride.
Right. 1st and 10 here coming up for Vigor, all in control tonight. Hand off to Johnson once again. Look at him just following right behind that offensive line. A lot of guys going to get some playing time right here for both teams.
And I know that, if you are the Wolfpack fan base, this is the way that you want to start the season. As over the last couple of years, you've only been 1 game away from being in the playoffs and having a chance to really make your mark. And I know that this senior group is very hungry as we do You know, you look at on the sidelines and a lot of the alumnus that are here, that part is awesome as well. And I know you have current South Alabama player Jerry Graham on the sidelines
Right,
for
saw
the
him earlier,
Wolfpack, and
right?
he was part of that state championship relay team, but so many alumnus. I mentioned Johnston Fowler being the running backs coach now at Vigor, having won that national championship with the Crimson Tide and knowing what it means to play in these type of games. It's always great to see.
And of course, speaking of a Williams, we know there's a Ryan Williams playing for Blount, but on the Vigor sideline, one of the assistant coaches, Ryan Williams, that name is familiar because of another Ryan Williams who's now at the University of Alabama.
Absolutely. You talk about Hollywood Williams and the fact that you have his dad stepping in, coaching the defensive backs, Ryan Williams Sr. You know, he's done a tremendous job being not only a leader for his son, but now coming over and having a chance to coach for the Wolfpack. As again, there's no question that Vigor going into week 2, even though it is a non-region game and it's a non-local team that they're playing, we'll see if they're able on a short week to regroup and regain their composure.
Well, of course, by the time to get our Career Tech Education Player of the Game up, and I think we have a pretty good idea who that's probably going to be. This young man has had a great night tonight, so we'll try to get that graphic up. We're within close to a minute here of the ball game coming to a conclusion as Vigor still running down the field here. Brisker hauls off, throw one right across the middle. Pass is complete.
And that's a great catch for the Wolfpack as they continue. As they continue to drive down here. I mentioned 45 seconds remaining. That is going to stop the clock until they move the chains, but you're looking at the 14-yard line of the Leopards. They just have to have a stop here.
And there's our Career Tech Education Player of the Game. Corey, no doubt, Sammy Dunn Jr. accounted for 4 scores tonight, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. You talked about the stats he had. That's a great debut for a young man coming over from Bayside Academy. He's basically picking up where he left off last season.
Without question, he is picking up where he left off. Sammy Dunn, the 6', 170-pound junior. I mentioned he threw for 1,837 yards a year ago, and now he's having an opportunity to make his mark and go ahead and have a new squad, but the same results of Sammy Dunn being a winner. His dad is on staff there as well, but congratulations to Sam Dunn.
And Vigor's going to get the win tonight, 38-6 over their rival Blount. Great night tonight for the Wolfpack, Corey, pretty much scoring in every quarter tonight as they're going to pick up the victory. And Corey, that is 5 in a row for Vigor over Blount.
Absolutely, 5 games in a row in a rivalry series is hard to do.
It is.
And I know that, you know, credit to both of these schools knowing what is at stake within this rivalry game, and the 2 tailgating teams that were outside having a great, they brought it inside, a huge crowd, I would say of at least 13,000 plus here at Lad Peoples Stadium, and what a great game that we were able to witness if you're a Vigor fan for certain.
And Coach John McKenzie picking up his first win of the season as he rejoins the Vigor staff here. So that's huge for him as well, coming back to town to get the win.
And it's a Blount program to where they're going to continue to grow.
Yes.
I mentioned 1 week ago, next week they'll have Saraland, and Saraland, the #1 team in the state, and they'll have a chance to go and regroup and rebuild and just get things together from what they see on film to where they can become better. And Ray Nelson has done a tremendous job preparing these young men for this season, and we mentioned how hard and how tough their schedule is.
Let's take a look at the stats from the ball game tonight, the final stats of the evening. And Corey, look at, they are just dominating by Vigor. 308 total yards for Blount, 63 total yards. 2 turnovers we know that led to points off turnovers for Vigor tonight, but the penalties, Corey, a combined 20 penalties. That's something Coach McKenzie is going to have to clean up right there. 11 penalties for 105
You know,
yards.
he's not happy about that.
No.
You just try to find things that you can focus on to clean up, and that is going to be an aspect. That and special teams will be where Coach McKenzie goes to work hard for sure.
Yeah, those Wolves might have some gassers coming up this week. Speaking of next week, we're going to take the action out to Sims. Gulf Shores versus Mary G. Montgomery. It'll be the reigning 5A champs taking on MGM. That's going to be a great contest. For Kimberly Dunn, Corley Bounty, our statistician, China Powell, and our entire MCPSS TV crew, I'm Al Wheaton, thanking you for joining us for the Battle of Pritchard. Once again, Vigor reigns 38-6. Have yourself a great night.